preview, it's Chef Report time.
Hi.
Hello, Chef.
Hi.
How are you today?
Yeah, good.
That's good.
Yeah.
You running something different today?
Yes, I'm going to try and run something a bit different every day. I think it'll be fun.
Every day?
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it is very different. The first time I think you've ever used the World Eaters.
Yes.
With, well, a bit of a mix-up going on here today.
It's not soup.
No.
It's a bowl of Khorne Flakes.
Oh, I see what you did there. That's very clever.
Yeah, you like that. You like that, don't you?
Meanwhile, House Endonia are going to march against you, and we will banish you back to the warp, where you belong, you foul demonic scum.
But not before I've taken my share of skulls back.
We shall see. Let's
Yeah.
go over those lists then, shall we? That's coming up next. And here we are. The Fist of the Imperium is here. And we have, well, 2 detachments. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So this list is basically a fun list, but with a little bit of edge.
Yeah, it's got some teeth.
We've got some edgelord stuff in there.
I think that's just the nature of God, because you get so much viewpoints. You can kind of go, I can add in some
I can
add in
this.
some Torah.
I want to get this. I want to get this. It's like a kid in a candy store.
Ooh, one of these, one of these, one of these, and one of these, and one of these, and one of these.
So what I've done is I could have obviously min-maxed this and made it really competitive. That's not what this game is.
This is for fun.
Yeah, and what we've tried to do is balance these lists. I think that we're going to have some really, really good fights.
I hope so.
Some combat fights, which will be really, really fun. So this is House Endonia. So House Endonia, for those of you that don't know, is an Imperial planet. They're all from Endonia Prime, and it is it's a garrison planet. So the Imperium takes tithes from all of the population there, and they basically born and breed soldiers. And they have a Militarum Tempestus regiment, and they also have a dedicated House Knights. Because why not? So what we've done is we mix all of Endonia together.
Everyone else has a dedicated knight house nowadays, so...
Yeah, so now we do too.
Yeah.
So what we have is the Astra Militarum Battalion. Now I've got 2 company commanders with las pistols and combat weapons, and I've got 3 units of 10 Acadians. We're running them as Acadian detachments with las rifles, and then in the heavy support slot we have 3 mortars. Now I also have mixed in the Militarum Tempestus, so I can do that without losing the Acadian detachment. Now obviously if I was being all gamey, I could do a 2nd battalion and make that Militarum Tempestus, and that would fit, but that's not what this game is. So what we've got is Hector Slade, the Reaper himself. He is the leader, the Tempestal Prime of the Militarum Tempestus regiment, and he has a Power Fist, and I've given him the Relic, and he's also the Warlord. I've given him the Auto Reliquary of Tiberius, which is the Militarum Tempestus Relic, which means he can issue an additional order on the order 2 up, so that's quite nice. He's got his Power Fist because it is the Reaper's hand, and he is going to punch Khorne Berserkers in their face.
Quite possibly, yes.
Because he's badass, right? So that's what we've got as the Warlord. The Warlord trait I've given him is the Militarum Tempestus one, which I cannot remember what it's called, but it was something quite cool. Here we go. Faithful servant of the throne, your warlord can attempt to deny one side. Oh no, that's no good.
No, that's not
what I thought it was.
Let's not do that.
No.
Do something slightly different.
Okay, alright. Well, I don't want to take Grand Strategist, because that's what people always take, and that's boring.
Bellowing voice, 3-inch range to...
Warlord's data sheet?
Yeah, I can imagine him being, like, a bit of a loudmouth.
I
can imagine it. He's a pone.
Yeah, he is. Like
he's a pone.
Yeah, from Alien.
Come
here. Yeah, that's right. Hudson, get here. Come here. It's so cool. I don't know. I'm going to decide that afterwards. It will come up on the screen. But he is the warlord for the purposes of this, because he would be. Now, we've also got 3 units of Militarum Tempestus soldiers. They're 10-man units. I've got a Voxcaster in each unit because it looks cool. And I've also got 2 plasma guns. That's the edgy part. That's quite good. And you've got the sergeant attachments with pistol and hell pistol and chainsword as well. So we've got 6 units of troops now. We've got a lot of bodies, pretty nasty. I've then got 3 dedicated transport Tower Rocks primes.
They're so good.
These are quite edgy. Yeah, this is quite good.
I think they're just under 100 points now, just on 100 points now for that.
Well, I've paid for the most expensive loadout.
Yeah, but it's still...
So twin autocannons and missile launcher, it's 130 points.
Oh, okay. It's a bit more than I thought, but it's still like 30-40 points cheaper than what it was.
And they are ballistic skill 3.
Yeah, they're strong. They're a very strong
pretty
choice.
Tasty.
Yeah.
So that's, we're getting into edge territory here.
It's okay. It's okay.
That's the battalion. So the Militarum Tempestus, forgive me, I've got a command squad, because again, it's really cool. So I'm taking a banner.
Yeah!
You never see them, this will be fun. Yeah. I'm taking a medic, because we need to keep our troops alive. Yeah. Endonia leave no man behind.
Yeah. And they've also got that genome that they want to protect as well, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've also got a Voxcaster in the command squad, and I've got a melter gun. And that's basically Slade's personal bodyguard, his high command, so it's going to be cool. And that's an Astra Militarum detachment, so obviously, I could have dropped the command squad and taken another Tempestal Prime and, started being gamey, but that's not what we're doing. However, I do not get any Militarum Tempestus doctrines because I am mixing in with the Cadians.
Yes.
All right?
The Cadians still get theirs, though.
The Cadians do still get there, so that's the way it's going to be today. Then, however, we do now get into edge territory further. I do have a Knights detachment.
Fine. I can maybe deal with this.
I think you might be able to, but it's quite tasty.
Yeah.
So I've got the ferryman himself. That's Knight 13 from House Endonia. He has got a relic. I've spent a command point on it. The Paragon Gauntlet. I've also spent a command point to make him a member of the Baronial Court. He's got the Landstrider Warlord trait. And this Knight's detachment is House Crast. So I'm re-rolling hits in combat. So we are going to have a massive fight in the middle of the table, which will be interesting. He is tasty in combat, House Crash. You can re-roll all your failed hits in the first round of combat. And with Landstrider and things like Full Tilt, you can potentially even get a first turn charge off.
Yeah, it's quite easy to do with Landstrider as well.
Yeah. So add 2 to the advance and charge rolls, and of this Full Tilt stratagem where I can advance and charge, which is quite nasty.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got Landstrider and you've got turn 1, you're essentially going a minimum of 18 inches with your +2 in both phases. Oh no, a minimum of 19 inches. Sorry, because you go +2 with a minimum advance of 1 for free, 12-inch move, and then a minimum of a 4-inch charge. So you've got a threat range of between 19 to 31 inches?
Yeah.
So that sounds about right?
Yeah.
34
nasty.
inches.
34 inches, yeah. It's quite nasty. And he, with the Paragon Gauntlet as well, you can do things like Death Grip as well, which is it's really awesome. So that's the ferryman. Hopefully he will reap what he sows. And then we've got 2 Warglaves. Again, bit of fun. Not bad with Crast, actually. Got their thermal spears, heavy stubbers, and of course their chain glaives. Mm-hmm. And that comes to 1748 points. So this is a good fun list. It's still got some teeth.
Yep.
Obviously, I've spoken about how we can make it nastier. But I think balancing it against what the Khorne are bringing today, which is basically a Demonkin style army, this is going to be...
Bowl of cornflakes.
Right, a bowl of cornflakes.
It's a bowl of cornflakes.
So let's see if you enjoy those cornflakes. That is coming up next. Chef? What's this?
It's a Bloodthirster. When was the last time you saw one of them?
Like 7th edition?
Well, they've received a points drop. I wanted to see how he does.
Yeah, I'm really excited about
I want to see what he'd do.
And you've tooled him a bit.
I've tooled him up a little bit.
So he can take on the ferryman.
Potentially. Let's find out. So we've got a battalion of World Eaters and a patrol of demons. So obviously they're Khorne demons. Because we don't do too much mixing if I can help it. No. So
this is a bowl of cornflakes.
This is a bowl of cornflakes, yeah. So battalion, World Eaters, of course. We have Sargaroth, Chaos Lord on Juggernaut of Khorne, who is not technically a World Eater.
Every time I remember that.
But why? Okay. I mean, one could argue that we could house rule it because he's blatantly a World Eater, but
I'm happy to house rule it.
Yeah, rules is written.
Oh, but then someone won't like it.
Yeah, we're not allowed to make up rules.
No, okay.
But, be that as it may,
yeah.
he's riding his Juggernaut of Khorne, who has a bladed face.
Yes.
Which you have to pay points for.
Yeah.
You have to pay for his
And
head.
I always forget to roll the attacks for it.
I won't. And you know what else I'm not going to forget? Death to the False Emperor.
We'll see.
I'm not... Look!
Every single one of the presenters here
Nuh-uh.
forgets Death to the False Emperor.
Yeah, but you're not...
But except when we're facing a non-Imperial army. Then we remember
And
it.
then you go, I wish I could have had it here.
It's always the way.
But it is not this. Okay, but anyway, he has...
But you're not taking any Helverins, and we will both remember that Helverins are 4d3 shots, not 2d3.
Oh dear.
I can't believe...
Listen.
I can't believe I missed it. Because I haven't used Helverins in a long time, so apologies for that last battle report. I mean, we had a lot of fun. I'm just going to say that Beard won.
Yeah, you declared that on the on-demand, didn't you?
Yeah. So
I mean, that's...
He's running 2d3 less shots.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously I was thinking a more fun Witch Cult list.
But that could have been potentially more Venom's Dead, like...
Oh,
easy.
Yeah. He might have... Someone was saying that he might have gotten the Talos, killed the Talos early.
Yeah.
Earlier.
Yeah.
Which he might have. It comes down to the 4
Of course,
plus
like, you need the rolls, you know, you can, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but...
Yeah. But I'm happy to say he just won.
The sheer ability of the extra 4d3 missing a turn is a lot.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about Helverins and your inability to do rules.
That's
We're here
right.
to talk about Sargeroth!
Yes.
Okay, so he's the Warlord, because of course he is.
Yeah.
He is using the World Eater's trait, Slaughterborn. So every time he kills a character or a monster or a Titanic vehicle, they're not Titanic, are they?
Not the glaives, no.
He's just going to have to go punch a knight then.
Well, that's
He gets +1 attack and +1 strength, I believe, for the rest of the game, which is really cool. So clearly this is like the beginnings of his ascension, shall we say. Yeah. He is running a Combi Bolter and a Power Axe, which I have upgraded with my free relic to the Axe of Blind Fury. So it kind of makes him like a little baby Khan.
Nice.
I mean... Where is it? Axe of Blind Fury. Strength 8, -3, D3 damage. It's pretty good. Now, I can't re-roll ones to hit on that, and I can't modify them,
No.
and instead they hit a friendly unit within an inch. But that's okay. It makes him a truck.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a good relic.
It's a fun
I've
it's
always
a fun relic to do.
turned away from it because I can't re-roll the ones, and it sort of goes against his ability. But
Sure.
it when it hits, it's awesome.
Yeah. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it as that. Yeah. And yeah, everything else that he has is sort of stock. Then we have an Exalted Champion, who is wielding a Chain Axe and a Power Fist, as you see. Reroll all failed wounds in the fight phase is really nice.
It's extremely
for obviously a combat army.
Yeah.
He's obviously not as defensive. He doesn't have any invuns, which is a real shame.
Sure.
But
you try and help protect him.
You can sort of deal with that by not having anything left alive after my 3 units of Khorne Berserkers.
Right.
Kill everything. Everything. Now I am running these fluffy, they are 8-man units because that's cool. I obviously get my free champion.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, I do that anyway.
Back to, was that 4th ed?
That was 3.5 ed. I had a
yeah.
Chaos Army which was based around the cult units, and each of them was in the magic number, so I got free upgrades and stuff. It was very cool. Yeah. It was back in 3.5/4th edition, it was a foot slogging Marine army, which back then was like, oh my god, how do I deal with 50 Marines?
Yeah.
Whereas now you go, ha!
Yeah.
You brought Marines.
That's cute.
You're funny. But I have 3 units of 8. They're all equipped as you see them, so chainswords and chain axes. Yes, the optimal loadout is to give them chainswords and chain axes, but that's not what they're modelled with, so deal. But there is an icon of Wrath in all of them as well.
Which is mandatory.
Absolutely. For the 10 points, you want that.
Yeah.
Then I have 3 Mauler Fiends with Lash Tendrils.
Yeah. Now, they did go down in points a bit, didn't they?
Quite a bit, yeah. I think they're 132 now. Now, a equivalent Hellbrute. Now, bear in mind the Hellbrute will have more attacks, but no Lasher Tendrils. Unless you go for, like, Scourge and a Fist, which is actually a pretty cool loadout.
Scourge is good, yeah.
I mean, if you did that... Now, these aren't Hellbrutes, so they don't get the +1 attack on the charge.
No.
Because, I'm a Marine.
Don't get all of the...
Marines don't get cool stuff, guys. For more of this rant, go to On Demand.
Yeah, we just did a big round.
We did a big round. But suffice it to say, I mean, they're 132 points with Lash Tendrils. They've got plenty of attacks. They're only hitting on 4s, but the D6 damage with the fist, the 2 damage on the Lash Tendrils, I mean, they're pumping out, I think it's like 10 attacks.
They're all
varying strengths.
Yeah.
They're quite fast. I think
they're cheap enough now from a
a more viable route. I think if you wanted to go like a proper World Eaters melee thing, you'd go for Hellbrutes, you'd go for Power Scourge, you'd go for a Hellbrute Fist, and that would cost you 125. So you're cheaper. Now you don't have as many wounds, but therefore you don't degrade.
You don't degrade,
which is pretty significant. You're 2 inches.
+1 attack.
You do. So you'd have 5 attack. You'd have 5 attacks because of battering onslaught, because you've got 2 melee weapons. +1 attack on the charge. So you've got 6 power fist attacks, and then another 3 scourge attacks. Crazed as well.
Would you not be tempted to take 1 gun though? That's how we run them usually.
Yeah, no, I know, and you would be tempted for that little bit of like fire
just
support.
You got some firepower there.
But at the same time, I'm kind of going like I'm just going all in, I'm going all in on that choppy. But I think it makes them a bit more of a viable option now to that sort of combat Hellbrute. But obviously the Hellbrute got points drop as well.
He did.
So it's kind of there, but there's only 7 points between them now, and you kind of go, do I weigh up the 5-up Invuln and the more lesser attacks?
They're faster than a Hellbrute as well. That should be pointed out.
But only until they degrade.
And then they slow.
But they've got more wounds, so it's 6 of 1, half a dozen of 1. I just really like them because they're Dinobots.
Well, I think they look. I just want them to be really good, and I want the Helldrakes to be really good again.
Yeah.
But I mean be careful because of a trigger around.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, so
moving on.
Mortal Fiends. You've got 3 of them.
Yeah, 3 Mortal Fiends.
That's cool.
3 Rhinos for the Khorne Berserkers, because you'd be a fool not to.
So we are going to have a real.
There's going to be a rock in the middle. And then my Demonic Patrol. So clearly,
this is where you're getting a bit edgy now.
Sardath has called upon the powers that be, and in doing so has spent 4 command points to do this, because why not?
Yeah, it's part of the reason I'm not farming command points and just taking 1 million of them myself.
I have 4 command points, so it's fine. So it's led by a Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster.
Yep.
So this is the character hunting one with the Flamer Breath, who is the same number of points as the identically equipped
You've got the Insensate Rage one.
Oh yeah,
you've got the Wrath of Khorne.
Yeah, which is this one, and then you've got the is it Undying Hatred or something?
Yeah,
so he's identical in points to that Hatred one in terms of axe. Their whips are a bit different. Right. Like this one does a flat 3 damage at -3 and +1 strength, whereas I think the flail is the whip is D3 attacks at +1 strength and only 1 damage at -3. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another, really. But this guy gets a heavy flamer, an assault heavy flamer, and can reroll failed hits against characters for the same points. Doesn't make any sense to me.
That doesn't make any sense.
He should be 260. The big axe guy should be 240 because he's still not great.
The big axe guy, I remember in 7th edition when that was like a D weapon.
Yeah.
Remember? That was so awesome.
I mean,
see these guys on the table.
Like, the axe guy's still actually pretty decent, but...
What is the big double-handed axe do
I think
again?
it's ×2 strength, but it's still only D6 damage. But that axe is also D6 damage for +3 strength, so he's strength 10? 11 on the first turn of combat because he's a Demon of Khorne.
Well, that's it then, isn't it?
So it's kind of like, well, strength... Okay, admittedly, strength 16 on the first turn, because in 8th edition, contrary to all other editions, you do modifiers first and then the multiplication, which confuses so many people.
Yeah, especially if you've been playing multiple editions.
I only found that out the other day, really.
Right, yeah.
I was sort of skimming, I don't know why, I was just doing one of those weird things I do where I was like skimming through FAQs and stuff, and I saw that and I was like, oh, okay then.
Yeah.
So actually strength 8 on the first turn, and he has, I think he's got 6 attack space, so 7 attacks.
Yeah.
Hitting on, but it's the fact his weapon skill degrades, the big axe guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't lose attacks like the others.
And isn't the double-handed axe a -1 to hit as well?
I don't think so anymore.
Is it not?
I don't think so. It
might used to be, didn't it?
I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, he has the advantage of you can do like a sweep attack.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like, come on, guys, that should work like a Thunderhammer. That should be D6 damage, but freeze is the minimum.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Because you could get like a really good round of combat against a knight and go, and you know, you actually only did like 10 wounds. Whereas this guy.
Yeah, he's more reliable. He's consistent.
So
you've given him a relic?
I have. So
I hope they have a fight.
I'm spending a command point to give him a Rewards of Chaos. So he has the Skull Reaver. Now I didn't. I sort of built this list, and then I didn't know that you were bringing a knight, so it actually works quite nicely. I took it for where is it?
Well, I bought the knight deliberately because you bought this guy. It's like, well,
let's have a scrap, because the Skull Reaver does additional mortal wounds on a roll of a 6.
Yeah.
To wound.
So it's D3 mortal wound.
So it's still an Axe of Khorne, so it's +3 strength, -4 D6 damage. So it's still really tasty with his 6 attacks at full health. And each time I make a wound roll of a 6+ for this weapon, the target suffers D3 mortal wounds in addition to the normal damage. But I also get to reroll all failed wound rolls for this weapon when targeting a Titanic unit. I'm staring at the knight staring at the knight off screen here. And because he's the Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster, he's a relentless hunter, so he rerolls failed hit rolls against characters. And you're part of some court. I'm powering up thinking about it. Rerolling everything.
Well, so you could, in theory,
I could one-shot.
You could one-shot me in a fight because I don't have any invuln in combat.
That's true. But -4. I'm wounding you on. I mean, if I get the charge,
obviously I can one-shot you as well.
This is the thing. It's going to be about who gets the charge. It's gonna be like we've got these two massive things and we're gonna be like turn 3 they actually get in combat because we're like
I anticipate like the hounds and what I call the jackals, which are the warglaives, and you're more looking into the hounds, so they'll be scrapping around.
They're just gonna leap on each other,
and the 2 warlords will be looking across each other across the horizon.
Great.
It's gonna be epic.
It's gonna be great.
Be one of those
so
games.
I've done that because it's fun, because you don't see Bloodthirsters. You very rarely see Khorne characters, like in terms of relics, if you're running like demonic characters. But we do have a Bloodletter bomb, guys. So
Edgelord descends. Yeah, so there's your competitive
That's
option.
the competitive side of it.
Yeah. And they are nasty. They're still nasty. Really good. Obviously, they can't do it turn 1 anymore.
It's turn 2, which, and because you kind of know it's coming.
Yeah. The Blood Banner, right?
Got the Blood Banner. So this is why I'm only starting on 4, because I've spent a command point for the relic, I've spent a command point for the Banner of Blood, and I've spent 2 command points to bomb them in.
Yeah.
So it could...
But they just run over everything.
That's the thing. It's like, I know they're coming in turn 2, but you know what? The Berserkers aren't getting there until turn 2 as well. So turn 2 is going to be bloody.
Yeah, turn 2 is going to be horrific.
It's going to be absolutely horrific. So you need a strong turn 1.
Yeah.
And we don't know the mission.
No.
We haven't even decided if we're doing Eternal War or Maelstrom yet.
No.
We don't know any of the layout of the terrain or anything like that because we filmed this first. So this could be like, oh no, and then my rhinos die turn 1 and it's all horrible and it all goes...
But then you still got that Bloodletter bomb to bring in wherever you need it.
So we'll see.
I don't know, this could be interesting.
It's a fun little list.
You could whitewash the guard actually, but the guard are pretty... I mean, I've tried to tone the guard down.
Yeah.
I really have.
I think if you'd have done it properly with a proper guard list, it wouldn't be much of a contest.
No, not if I was doing competitive guard. Unfortunately, Chaos just aren't... not Khorne, they're not up to dealing with that yet.
They're fun. They're fun, and that's sort of what I'm aiming to do.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be.
Let's see what happens.
Okay, let's have the blood flow as we're about to cut to the mission coming up next.
This is my blood flowing everywhere. Buckets of blood.
Here we are. A demon world ravaged by the warp. And here, past the wings of this bloodthirster, we can see the Endonian genome are here, the House Knights, the Endonian Guards, and, well, the Militarum Tempestus are not present on the battlefield. Their transports are here, but no doubt they will insert via grav chutes onto this battlefield shortly. Meanwhile, of course, the demons are not present other than the Bloodthirster himself, a Bloodletter bomb waiting in the warp. Perhaps it's this ancient shrine of chaos, protected by the grotty objective marker. They're about to make them materialise. But with all said and done, what is the mission? Well, we're playing Eternal War. Mission 1 from the new chapter approved. That is Vital Intelligence. We rolled this up, and then we rolled up a Dawn of War deployment also. So we can see that the Endonian Genome, Knights and Endonian Guard there are all deployed pretty much along the front line, but using some guardsmen to try and protect their assets. And meanwhile over here, the Bloodthirster headed up by 3 Mauler Fiends, and then flanking Berserkers in Rhino, Sargarath himself on either side here as well. So we're about to have a vicious clash in the middle of this battlefield. Now, as it turned out, I lost the roll-off for who picked deployment zones. So it means that I actually get to choose who goes first, because I had to deploy my army first. In this instance, given the threat of having all of these Berserkers and Mauler Fiends coming across the table at me, I would like to take first turn, Chef.
Okay.
I would like to try and soften you up first. How do you feel about that?
Go for it, you can try.
Oh, well, so does that mean that you will not be trying to seize the initiative?
I don't think so, no.
Now, is that because of these new mission parameters, perhaps?
I think it's a combination of that, because we score at the end of the battle round.
That's right.
So
correct.
that gives me a little bit of an advantage by going second in the battle round.
It does.
Secondly, you don't have a huge... I mean, you've got some firepower, but you don't have
not much.
A huge amount.
Yep, not really.
That can sort of... I mean, obviously, there's concerns, but we can kind of get over it.
Yeah.
And secondly, because I wasn't sure if you were going to go absolutely ham with the knight, I deployed a little bit further back than the 12 inches. So going first is not going to give me any advantage other than I'm advancing forward, and then you're just going to countercharge with your knight.
Fair enough.
So I don't think it's worthwhile with a seize.
Taking that initiative. Okay.
Also means the Bloodletter Bomb can come in to counter all of your deep strike.
Yes, which incidentally, that Bloodletter Bomb is Slade's old grudge. We have used the Old Grudges Warlord trait, decided now. Thought it'd be cool. And Bloodletters are something that Slade and the Genome particularly hate. So we will be re-rolling wounds against them with all Astra Militarum units if they're within 6 inches of Slade. So that's quite nice. Now, mission-wise, Vital Intelligence, for those of you which don't know, there are 5 preset objectives on the battlefield, okay? And they're numbered 1 to 5. And there is an active tactical objective which we roll for at the beginning of the battle rounds, the first player turn, right?
Yes.
So whatever objective is the active objective will be worth 2 points at the end of the battle round. All of the other objectives are worth 1, unless you roll a 6, at which point they all become active objectives at the end of the battle round. So there is just another little bit of spice to this mission. Will be an interesting one. Since Chef is not going to seize the initiative, we are going to move right into the Imperium's turn 1. That's coming up next. So, since it is now Astra Militarum / Imperium turn 1, I have to roll at the beginning of this battle round for which objective is going to be the active one. Let's see. It is objective 2. Ah, interesting. Well, that's actually over here on the left flank.
Ah, that's a problem.
That is a problem. Very interesting there, because I'm not really going to be able to get that, and that gives him a 2-point head start at the end of this battle round. But
if he'll have
to hang stuff back, Mr. Chef.
I want to go chop stuff up. I want
so now you've got a conundrum here. So we'll see how he plays that in his own movement phase. But let's get into the Imperium's movement phase coming up next. This is the movement phase, turn 1 for the forces of the Imperium. The Endonian Household Knights have edged forward slowly, but they respect their foe here. They know how dangerous, of course, the World Eaters and forces of Khorne can be, so we have not charged blindly into the middle of the battlefield. It does mean at the end of the battle round that I am only likely to be holding 2 objectives. You know, so that's only worth 2 points. So in terms of the mission, I'm not in the hottest position. However, if I was to run out into the middle of that Chaos Shrine, I believe the horrific countercharge that the Mauler Fiends and Bloodthirster could then do to me would not be worth that additional victory point. So
yes, it would. For me!
So I've decided to hang back, at least for this turn, and we will view our enemy from afar, and we will view our enemy with lots of cracked missiles from those Taurox and some stubber fire and of course some thermal spear fire from the glaives. So just a bit of a tentative movement. As we go into the beginning of the shooting phase, because I have no psychic phase, I will have one of the Endonian commanders there issue an order, take aim to the mortar team, which are hanging behind this volcanic terrain here, which, because they're Cadians, means they can reroll all of their failed hits, so that's quite nice. But let's see if those mortars can do anything. I've got a lot of armour to get through first. So, based on that, it is turn 1 shooting phase coming up next. We're kicking this off. It's thermal spear time from this Armiger Warglaive, opening up against the Rhino. We wish to have these berserkers, that's 2 shots here on a 4. We used to have these berserkers exposed. So, can we get some hits here, folks? That's a 6 and a 4, that's 2 hits with the thermal spear. Accurate so far. Can we get a first strike in the first round? Right, well, we've got 1 wound there. I'm very tempted. I'm always tempted to use a command point for the second wound, because you won't get a save against this.
Correct, because I did not prepare positions. Are you in melter range?
I'm not in melter range, but what that would mean is I save the command points for the reroll the damage, or I get 2 wounds and I get to roll 2d6 damage. I'm going to hedge my bets and go for 2d6 damage.
Right.
Why not? It is a second wound, Mr. Chef.
Oh.
Are we looking at a first strike situation here?
Probably.
Probably, says the chef. Double 6. No, it is in fact 6. So 6 wounds down. Very nice. Little bit of opening fire here. Can we finish this Rhino off? I've got a second Warglaive that is ready, but of course we have the heavy stubber, because you never know, we might get lucky. So, rolling to hit. Now, ironically, I don't ignore the minus, and it is a heavy weapon. When I move, right? So, because the heavy stubber is a heavy weapon, so I think the 3 is actually a miss.
Okay.
And yet the thermal spear is an assault weapon. Yep. So 2 hits and 2 wounds. No wounds, I did need 5s there. Okay, so we're going to move on to the second Warglaive coming up next. We move on to the second Warglaive, the thermal spear, looking at the smoke coming from the front of this Rhino chassis. He opens up with 2 shots himself, just like his Jackal brother there. Can he now? He gets hit. All right, we'll take that. Can we get a wound? Oh! He lives. Interesting. All right, we're going to go straight on to the heavy stubber. And this heavy stubber, try and finish it. 1 hit, because he did move. No wounds. Okay, so the Jackals there did take 6 wounds from the Rhino, but it's down to the Taurox over here in the distance to see if it can finish it. So we have just this Taurox Prime that has line of sight to this Rhino. The other 2 cannot see him, so it's down to this lone Prime to finish what the Jackal started. So here we go. We're going to open with the crack missile variant. Surprisingly, I'm not using frag. Can we get some hits? We get 1 hit because they are a Ballistic Skill 3 unit. Can we wound? We can't wound. Okay, it's controversial. We got autocannon shots here, 4 of them. 3 hits. Okay, this is tough. It's just a 1 wound. It's guaranteed to survive, but can it make it save anyway?
-1. No.
No. Okay, so it does take 2 damage, but my goodness, it has survived the Wrath so far. We're moving on to these Taurox now. I have realised that I could try and mortar this lone Rhino to death in a moment, which I probably will do. I can't have it hanging on 2 wounds, but in any respect, we're going to open up with this Prime now. He's going to be opening up against this Rhino. So let's see if we can expose that Rhino now. We've got 2 crack missiles. That's a 5 and a 2 there, so 1 hit. Can we get a wound? We can. So this is -2.
Okay.
Open up here with the elite genome. He's rolled a 1.
Well, that's not very good.
No, so it's d6 damage. Oh, I've got a 1. Huzzah!
That is good.
Now we've got the autocannon rounds. That's 3 hits, Mr. Chef.
Okay. That's off the board.
Okay, classic. No wounds. Okay.
Autocannon.
Oh, you're toughness 7. Good points.
7.
Yeah, 2 wounds. What am I talking about? Yes.
I failed.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, that's 4 points of damage. Now we're going to immediately keep rolling and go over to the second tower box, opening against the same thing. 2 crack missiles right into the hull. Yes, sir. Thank you. 2 crack missiles. 1 goes through, Mr. Chef. Can you get an armor save? No, you cannot. D6 damage on a roll of a 5 or a 6. We get first strike. 1. So these rhinos taking it. Yeah, it just bounced off the hull, didn't it? Okay, so what we're going to do now is 4 autocannon rounds. See if we can finish it with a bit of luck here. So we've got 2 hits. Just the 1 wounds. He fails it.
I've not saved a single one.
That is hilarious. So we have 2 rhinos on 2 wounds apiece. Incredible. Desperate times now. The guardsmen that edged forward, 2 of them are in range with our mighty laser guns of this rhino. Pew, pew. Rolling to hit. We've got a hit, Chef. Now, because I moved, I don't get that reroll 1.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I have to be static.
Yes, you do.
Okay. Now, can I wound you on a 6?
No. You never know.
Right, getting super desperate. The mortars. 3d6 shots into this rhino, the original target. Let's see if we can claim first strike. Right, well that's a pretty good round of fire. So that's 14 shots. So 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now the good news is that I actually get to re-roll these hits. Hitting on 4s, and I don't need line of sight by the way guys, because they're mortars. Okay, so that was a miss, but I have to re-roll it. These need to be re-rolled. Okay, so we've got that many hits, so... Oh, I think that was a miss. Okay, cool. So, not bad. Now, we need 5s and 6s to wound. 4 these saves. Your first strike with mortars. Dum, 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 dum. Right. It's 3 wounds, Mr. Chef.
Well, I'm not past the secret save.
Now, obviously, these mortars are armor-piercing rounds.
Yep.
So it means that you're more likely to roll 1s and 2s. Oh! Not like this. Not like this.
Not like this.
Wowzers. You can't write it, can you? So we do get first strike. I mean, if you pass 1, then obviously you'll have used the command point.
I would have used the command point. That's what I was kind of hoping for. I didn't pass a single answer.
Oh dear.
Not in the entire round.
Now, does it blow up?
I'll roll for the guys inside first.
Oh yes, of course.
Says each them. 3 die.
Oh no! Do you want to use? Oh, you've only got 4.
No, I'm not using any command points on that. And does it explode?
Oh no! Not like this. What are you going to do, Chef?
I have to command point that because that'll kill that.
It might kill the other rhino. Oh no! It's going to be another 6. There they are, out of the smoking wreck around Grotty, objective number 1. The berserkers, the surviving berserkers, pile out, and as we pan up here we can see that the Endonian forces have now finished the shooting phase. There's nothing else actually in range, bar a couple of laser rifles. I could try and plink off a couple of wounds on a Mauler Fiend. Look, why not? Why not?
You got a bit more than 2.
Bit more than 2?
Yeah,
so I've got...
Looks like you got 4 there.
4, so I can do another 2. Just for a bit of luck. No, 1 hits. I've taken a wound. Okay,
well, if
right.
you'd have wounded, I wouldn't have passed the save.
Oh,
so.
of course, yeah.
But these guys can heal, so it's okay.
Yes, that is at least one thing that they can do. So the shooting phase is done, and as a result, in fact, the turn is done for the Imperial forces. I've got nothing that's going to be attempting charges or is in charge range this turn. Do they need to take a morale?
They do, because they lost models.
3. 1, they're absolutely fine. Okay, that marks the end of the turn. Currently I'm set up with first strike, so that's a point, and hopefully by the end of the battle round I will have another 2 points. It's pretty much the best I can hope for at this point as we go into Chaos turn 2 coming up next, or turn 1 even. There you go. The forces of chaos are on the move here. Turn 1 movement phase. The Bloodthirster has taken to the skies. 3 Mauler Fiends leading the charge. Just shy of the mid-board here, although Chef has informed me that a turn 1 charge is possible. Against the ferryman. Meanwhile over here, his hand was forced a bit, but the Rhino has decided to stay back because that is the active objective, so it's worth 2 points. But the Berserkers have piled out and are now moving up towards the enemy line here. Unfortunately, they did only roll a 2 on their advance, however, which is a shame, but he didn't want to spend the command points. He's only got the 3 CP left, which is unfortunate, but that is the way it is. Meanwhile over here, we can see that the Berserkers have continued to move up away from the smoking wreck of the Rhino. Sargaroth has followed them. He is within 3 of this objective, so Chef is currently set up at the end of this turn to have 3 points as a guarantee, which is very, very nice. He could potentially have 4 points if he does manage to secure first strike, and maybe even in a crazy way, could he get that middle objective? No, probably not if you're trying to secure a charge against the Knight, because you're not really going to be able to place yourself there, are you? Okay, now incidentally, I know there's probably already some comments. Lawrence, why didn't you fire the Ferryman's Heavy Stubber? Actually, I did. I'd forgot to do it, and as an afterthought I did it after we finished wrapping up the shooting phase. I did try and shoot at this Rhino. I did miss twice, and then I failed to wound with the single shot that went through. So there we go, we've resolved all of that. It's now time for Blood for the Blood Gods. Will you get any shooting done this turn? Just a little bit of combi bolter fire, I'd imagine.
Popping smoke.
Popping smoke.
This guy is not in line of sight of the heavy stuff, so he's just shimmied forward a little bit. I'm going to shoot at them.
Okay, well, let's just do that as a summary, because it's not really much of a shooting phase. That's 1 hit. That's 1 wound. For Cadia, or I should say, for the Endonian... No, okay, 1 guardsman is slain.
Sargaroth is going to do the same to that unit on there.
Okay.
With his combi bolter.
Sargaroth.
We roll the 1s.
Hits twice. He wounds 2 guardsmen over there. And we do fail 2 saves. There we go. That's 3 guardsmen across our battle line killed. But that does mark the end of the shooting phase. As we go into the most important phase for him this turn, the charge phase coming up next. Folks, we're kicking off with the big stuff. Mauler Fiends number 1. It's an 11-inch charge, is that correct, Mr. Chef?
That sounds about right.
Into the ferryman. So are you declaring this charge?
Yep.
Then I shoot at you with my heavy stubber, sir. 1 hit, sir. 1 failed wound. Okay. 11-inch charge, wish him luck! Okay.
Same.
I feel like Mauler Fiends should have like a re-roll charge in build, don't you?
No, they don't.
It'd be that'd be kind of cool. Anyway,
I don't get that.
Nah, Chaos don't have nice toys.
Nah, no fun things.
Okay, second Mauler Fiend.
Yeah, same target.
11-inch charge.
And did you want to Overwatch against him?
Oh yes, of course. No, apparently not. What are you thinking?
Just in case.
What are you thinking, Chef?
I rolled a 9, didn't I?
You rolled a 9.
Nowhere near. Nah. Because 9 inches puts me there. That's not within an inch because 10 inches is there. Yeah. So, no dice.
It would mean you'd need to roll a 6 if you re-rolled that 4, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's not worth the risk.
No, you need to...
yeah, because 10 inches would put me within an inch, so I need to roll a 5. It's a 1 in 3 chance. Nah.
No, okay, fine. This Mauler Fiends.
On this guy.
Charging this glaive. Okay. Thermal cannon or thermal spear. We're getting 3 shots at you, Chef. We've got a hit, Chef.
Yeah.
Getting scary now. It's a wound, Chef, and I believe we're in melter range.
5 up in bum.
Oh.
Like this.
Okay. Heavy stubber. No hits. Okay, can you make the charge? Good luck. Yes, surely. Or maybe not.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you're in. Oh, awesome. Very cool. So we're going to get some fighting. That's good. So I suspected the hounds and the jackals will take to the field first. The warlords look across the vista. Okay, now we've got berserkers here.
They're gonna try their luck.
Yeah, that's quite a long charge, isn't it?
It is, but I do have the icon of wrath, so I can re-roll it.
That's it. Okay, so thermal cannon. or thermal spear even. 1 shot, no hits, and heavy stubber. 1 hit, no wounds. Okay. Ooh!
I think I needed a bit more than that. Oh no. So 9 inches takes me up to the edge.
Right.
But you're just over an inch up. So if because that's that's just over 1.5 inches up, isn't it? So if I move with this guy here, 9 inches takes me right to the edge. I needed a 10, so I've got to re-roll it.
Oh no!
I get a re-roll. It's fine.
Oh yes! Blood for the blood god. We're kicking off with the berserkers here in the fight phase. So it's just piling in some berserkers there, no problem.
I mean, they're all going to be the intent.
Sure. So, okay, now berserkers do get to fight twice because that's their core rule.
They do, but
obviously I can interrupt after the first round.
Indeed.
But we'll see if I do that. So the first round of attacks here from the Khorne berserkers against one of the jackals.
And what are we not going to forget, kids?
Death from the false emperor. Oh no!
So those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. I'm going to need an extra dice.
That's absolutely outrageous.
Very good. Okay, but it's an extra 2 hits.
Yep, still it's more than you started with. So let's see now. Can you translate the wounds? Now you are whopping strength 5.
Strength 6.
Strength 6 on the charge. Forgive me. Yeah. Yes, correct.
Because you are toughness 7.
Yep.
But
a few.
2, 3, 4, 5 at -1 there.
3, 4, 5. Yes, sir. So 5 wounds at -1. We get 4 up saves. We make 3. We fail 2.
Okay.
So 2 wounds down from the jackal. That is the warglaive. I mean, whether I'm interrupting or not now doesn't really matter because my intent is to actually interrupt with this one rather than this one, because I have a horrible feeling that the Mauler Fiend might just kill the warglaive outright, whereas I might, if I'm lucky, survive over here. So I will interrupt, but I will interrupt after you've done your second round of attacks with the berserkers. Although actually, technically, you could do. Just go, yes, you could. So in which case, all right, for argument's sake, I'll get the dice and I'll interrupt you now. So. Yep, so interrupting here, I've spent 2 CP, that puts me down to 6, but this jackal hits the warglaive or hits the Mauler Fiend even, as it charges in. No, I refuse to shoot myself, yes. 4 attacks now, hitting on 3s. I'm going for the full powered chain glaive here. Now, because I'm House Crast, and it's the first round, I re-roll failed hits.
Oh, right, I thought
in the
it was
first
a +1.
round. No, Terran's, it's Morton gives you or add 1 to hit in combat.
Right, okay.
Crast is just re-roll failed hits in the first round.
Gotcha.
So 4 hits here. Now we are strength 12.
Yep, so 3 wound.
Ooh, 4 wounds from the jackal here, Mr. Chef. Now at least you do have an invulnerable save. I am damaged 3, Chef.
I have 12 wounds.
So you need to save at least 1.
That I would like to save all of them.
Chef!
I'll save 2.
He saves 2, it's not bad. It's 6 damage through on that Mauler Fiend, but that will be enough to degrade him at least.
It is, sadly, yeah.
So I'll take that for what it is. Now on to the berserkers. We're swinging back rounds. Can these berserkers inflict more damage on that jackal? So we lost the 2 so far. Death to the false emperor kicking off again.
Yeah, but that was terrible.
We've got a lot of misses, so it's only make you break even.
If that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 there.
Grim in the dark, folks.
No.
Okay.
Right, it's fine because I'm going to make it up. They're all going to wound.
They're all wound. Okay.
Every single one.
Yes. It's not bad, Chef.
That's
oh
5,
my goodness.
6. I'll take that.
Wow. Okay.
-1.
6 wounds. I'm guaranteed to survive, but.
Hopefully, down a peg.
Well, I do fail 3, I pass 3. That's the average. So I've lost a total of 5 wounds on that glaive, but he is still ready to kick. Interesting. Now this Mauler Fiend, sadly degraded, but has just spent a command point, leaving Chef with 2 command points left. And that command point has, of course, been spent on Demon Forge, so that's re-rolling failed hits and wounds. Yep. Could be significant against this jackal.
It needs to be.
It needs to be, yeah. He wants to destroy one. And of course you get first strike, which would be very tasty.
Okay.
So.
And these guys don't get Death to the False Emperor.
No.
Which kind of makes sense, because they're demons rather than, like, veterans
chaos,
of the Long
yeah.
War. So that's fair. Right. Morphine Fists first.
Yep.
So 3 attacks. Good thing I used that command point.
Yes, it is.
That's still really
still
bad.
only one hit. Oh, come on.
Freeze to wound.
Okay. He's got a wound now, at least.
-3.
Okay, so on the roll of a 6, I can save, because my invuln doesn't work in combat. Nope, I fail it. Flat damage.
Flat damage 3.
Yep, very nice. So
And
3 wounds down from the jackal.
6 Lasher Tendrils.
Okay.
So these are, I make 6 additional attacks.
Yep.
They're strength user, which is 5, so I'm still wounding you on 5s anyway.
Sure.
At -2, flat 2.
Cool.
So reroll those misses.
Normally your strength would be 6, but because
Normally,
of
yes.
yeah.
That's a bit better.
Okay.
So we want 5s. We want a lot of 5s and 6s here.
Can
But
reroll
I can reroll
those.
those. That's
Got
only
2.
2 at -2.
-2, 5s to save. I do fail both at least, so that is a
4 damage.
4 damage. So in total, I lost 3 plus 4.
7.
So 7 wounds. That does degrade this jackal at least, but sadly that is not first strike claimed. So it's now time for this jackal to hit the 5 berserkers that are in combat with him as we're at the end of the fight phase, or for the charges for the Khorne. So I'm going to use the sweep attack now on the chain glaive. I'm crassed first round of combat, so I can reroll to hit. And luckily I can reroll to hit those. Okay, so not bad. Strength 6 now, so it is 3s to wounds. These are damage 1 and at -2. Cool, so we have a total of 5 wounds. That's 1 for each berserker, Chef.
At -2, you say?
-2. Wish him luck, folks.
One guy lives.
1 lives. Ouch.
Obviously the champ, because
Jackal
the
took
icon has done his job.
toll there. Certainly reaped what he sowed. So now, what we are doing is the morale phase next, because the fight phase is now finished. Chef, what do you need to pass with those berserkers?
Right, so they just lost 4 guys.
Yep.
The champ is left alive, who I believe is leadership fearless, because Marine Khorne berserkers have always been fearless. So I'm just going to double check that. I'm pretty sure I'm right, because they would be, leadership fearless, because they're frothing mad berserkers. No, they're leadership 8.
Butcher's nails are not helping you.
No,
Chef.
the things that make you a frothing berserker with no care for about your own life, and you just want to spill blood. Nah, you get scared and run away, man.
Apparently
No,
so.
that's it could represent him just like not
Just mindlessly
like hacking away, and the
exactly.
armor god just kicks him without thinking about it. But you say morale, and
you should feel like these elite Chaos Marines just be immune to morale. That would be
they've
kind
always historically been like fearless,
and that would actually be a really good buff for them as well in general. Anyway, we're going to go into a rant. Okay, so
doesn't matter. I need a 4.
You need a 4
or less.
Okay.
Excellent.
Well done, Chef. Okay, so
My ability to roll low has succeeded me now.
So he has locked down the jackal there.
Woo!
So that's something at least. Because I don't believe these can fall back and shoot as normal, so that's very nice. So interesting stuff, both jackals engaged, and that is the end of the battle round. Now he hasn't gotten first strike, but he has got 2 points for the active objective, plus he's got 1 point which Sargaroth is holding over here, so it is 3 points aside now. Tentative openings, but we've already seen some death as we go into Imperium turn 2 coming up next. Folks, beginning of the battle round, a new battle round, so we have to roll for which objective is the active one. So, because it's me, it's a 1. That is this one. Both have been in your deployment zone, Chef.
What is this nonsense? Ridiculous.
The Tempestus have descended here, turn 2 for the forces of the Imperium, and we can see that the command squad of Slades, 3 units of Scions, have inserted themselves via grav chutes, and Slade himself here ready to issue orders as required. Sargaroth sadly appears to be on that target list, although we've got units which can potentially engage that heavily damaged Rhino as well. The Ferryman has moved forwards. The time for cowardice has long since gone. It is time to start swinging that Reaper chainsword, and hammering people with his hands. Or in this case, the Paragon Gauntlet, hopefully very soon.
The Hammergon Gauntlet.
The Hammergon Gauntlet, exactly.
Which actually sounds very Imperial. Like, oh yes, it is the Hammergon! Okay.
Now, meanwhile over here, the Jackals have remained in combat because we can't fall back and shoot, and we may as well try and deal with those targets. All of the Cadian infantry has remained static, so it can benefit from its natural regimental doctrine, as have the mortars. Now, the second company commander has actually advanced and actually rolled a 6 just behind that volcanic piece of terrain, so that he will be in orders range of the guardsmen over there. The Taroks, of course, have also remained stationary. So, unfortunately, it pains me to say it, but I think we might have to tactically open fire against the Bloodthirster. I do want to see the combat between the two, but the Bloodthirster will have to be favoured by Khorne and make those saves first, because otherwise,
it's fine.
If I do not engage him with shooting and he survives, it means that he will charge the ferryman and he could potentially down our biggest asset in one fell swoop of his axe. So, let's move on. It's shooting coming up next. Let's see what I do. Folks, we're in the shooting phase and it's issuing orders time. So, Slade is going to order take aim to the front Tempestus units. He's then going to use his auto reliquary, which does go off, to issue another order, and that will be on this unit. And because he's got a command rod, he can issue a third order, which he will also issue take aim, and guess what? That will be on this unit. So we've had 3 orders go off from Slade. Such is his prowess on the battlefield. Very, very cool. Meanwhile over here, company commander behind the Taroks will also issue take aim to the mortar team, and the company commander behind the volcanic piece of terrain will also issue take aim to those guardsmen over there. So lots of orders, all the same order incidentally, and that is crush the enemy. So we're going to open up with the shooting phase proper, and that will be the first rank of the Tempestus opening up against Sargaroth himself. That's coming up in just a moment. Folks, we're opening with the plasma. We're overcharging. It's 4 shots into Sargaroth. Rolling to hits. 2 2s. No, we can't re-roll those, but at least we're not dead.
That's
true. So 2 hits. 2 wounds though.
4s?
He needs 4s. 1 goes through. Okay, could have been worse. So that's damage 2. 2 wounds down from Sargaroth. Let me get the hot shot laser rifle dice right now. 6 hot shot laser rifle shots now. See what we can do. Rerolling 1s, thankfully. They're obviously nervous, taking on, don't forget these guys are ballistic skill 3 as well, because they are the elite. Oh wow, you get very lucky there. 2 6s and a 5 wound wise. Now these are -2 with these hell guns.
So 4 up save.
So straight to his 4 ups. He's lost another 2 wounds. Sargaroth is teetering on the edge of life. That leads us to the second unit, just behind the first. We're opening with the plasma first. We are overcharging to see if we can finish Sargaroth. That is 3 hits. Okay. 2 wounds. 2 wounds and really
That's very cocked.
nice. Just 2 wounds. Okay.
I'm going to command reroll that.
Yeah.
Otherwise
you have. Oh!
Come on!
Oh, that's the same. That's fine.
No, that's cocked. That's cocked. That's cocked. See,
oh, okay. Oh, Chef, you're making me nervous.
Down to 1.
Okay. He's down to 1 wound.
No, I'm down to 1 command point.
Oh, down to 1 command point. Of course, yeah, because that would have been damage 2. Okay, so it's now hot shot las rifle time. We know this. 7 shots.
Will you just not wound me for once, please? My inability to make saves more than makes up for it.
Reroll it once. Okay. Chef. Attention here can be cut with a butter knife. Oh, no wounds.
Thank you.
Our hand has been forced. The third and final unit, of course, it's fitting that it will take 30 of the Emperor's finest Imperial Guardsmen to deal with the likes of Sargaroth.
And they'll still fail.
No. We will be overcharging with our Plasma Chef. Rerolling those 1s. 3 hits. It is 3 wounds, Mr. Chef.
Alright.
Chef! Chef! Oh, Sargaroth falls! That is Warlords.
That's a pity.
He's felled from his mounts in burning plasma. It is a pity because whenever I use Sargaroth, he also tends to do nothing. Yeah. But it's because, I like to think it's because he's such a threat to the enemy that he has to be dealt with.
Well, how are you ever going to get him to ascend?
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Something epic needs to happen in a battle report, which would be a fitting ascension for him.
Sadly, saves would be good.
Yes.
That would be pretty epic.
So it will not be this day that he ascends. Command Squad! Melter Gun.
Now, I did pop smoke.
Into that rhino,
I did pop smoke!
I don't recall that.
I definitely
he did, yeah, he did. To hit. They've been called something off camera.
It's fine.
To wound is now a 3.
Okay.
Now, the good news is that I'm not in melter range. I can't be back yet.
Everyone.
So, on a 2 or more, that rhino goes pop.
Okay.
Jeff, it is a 2.
No, I did.
Ouch, everybody. Alright, okay, does it blow up?
Right. Blowing up.
Ooh.
9 guys inside. Because the champ is in there. Huzzah! Everyone lives!
That is at least something. Khorne has favoured them. They have no need of this metal box anymore. Soon they will be wading into guardsmen, I'm sure. Or perhaps the ferryman, we shall see. But that is the Tempestus fired. And not a bad start, let's face it. We're panning rounds to the right flank now as these guardsmen open up against those berserkers. So, rolling to hit, and I can re-roll all hits because of the take aim and being Cadians. Okay, so quite a few hits there. Very nice.
That's about right with the rerolls.
Yeah. And then to wound, just the 3. So 3 straight up, power armor saves. Only fails 1, not bad. 1 berserker cut down by flashlights. Next up we have 6 guardsmen, which will be engaging these berserkers here. Now these don't have any orders issued to them. Okay, 3 hits, and we can reroll ones because we didn't move. So 4 hits, and then to wounds, no wounds. The ferryman's heavy stubber now will fire at the berserkers. To hits, 2 hits. To wounds, 1 wound.
Like this. It was a 3.
Okay.
It's a 3.
This guardsman unit now, only 3 are in range, but they're going to be firing at the Bloodthirster. To hit. Rerunning ones because they were stationary in Cadian. 1 hit. Hey, to wound. Don't do it, Chef.
It's fine. I'm assuming he still has a 3 up save.
He better. He better. Does he?
Yes, they do.
Oh, thank goodness. We now have the mortar team. They will, of course, fire everything at the berserkers. Let's just roll up the amount of shots and then I'll get the dice after. So we've got 10, 11, 12, 13 shots coming up. So it's 13 shots against these berserkers. Let's see how we do. Re-rolling the misses because of the orders. Okay. Then we have 4s to wounds. Oh, grim in the dark, Chef.
God,
oh no.
How many
it's 8 wounds. Oh dear.
Jesus.
Oh no.
8, you say, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, dear, Chef.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry, but really, he's like got this massive grin on his face. That is 3 dead.
Okay, could have been worse. Could have been worse. Team, this is where it gets grim in the dark. The Taurox, number 1, opening against the monstrosity that is the Bloodthirster.
Nah.
It's true, Chef.
No. I mean, like they're going to
Aim at him, and they're going to be like, "Yeah, we're going to take him out," and then he like looks in their direction, and then they go, "Ah!"
Okay, Chef.
It's true.
2 cracked missiles.
I mean, that's obviously going to happen on the second one.
2 hits. 1 wound. I'll keep that as it is.
So 5 up. Okay, damage.
Doesn't he have a 4-up in Von?
Nope, 5 up.
Oh, no.
They used to have a 4-up.
Oh, come on. They should have a 4-up.
Yeah, 5 up.
D6
I mean, I rolled
damage.
a 1, so...
4 wounds.
Okay.
Okay, autocannons.
Down.
That is 3 hits.
Okay.
Toughness is 7, I believe, right?
7 indeed.
2 wounds, Chef.
So -1, so 4s. Another 2 damage.
So 2 wounds.
Down to 10.
Okay, so first Tarok's down. Okay, team, it's the middle Tarok's going to fire at the Bloodthirster.
And
2
miss.
crack missiles.
Missiles.
1's a hit.
Missiles.
1's a wound, Chef.
5 up.
5 up. Yes! Well done.
Yes.
Okay. 4 autocannon rounds.
Miss cannon rounds.
Yeah,
No.
Oh, no, sorry. 2 wounds. 3 wounds.
Come on! That's 6 wounds. I'm down to 4.
Okay, what's his degradation now?
He now has like a 4-inch move.
Okay, and
and
what's his
2 attacks.
degradation? 2 attacks?
Sounds about right.
Oh.
That's the wrong book.
Let's double check quickly live here what it means that he's on.
So he has 4 wounds remaining, he has a 6-inch move and 2 attacks.
Only 2 attacks,
Yep.
but he'll get an additional attack on the charge, right?
In the first round of combat, yeah, he gets an additional attack.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I know that there are going to be some people who are saying, Lawrence, you're a madman, you're crazy, but for me, I have to have him fight the ferryman. So I'm actually going to fire the last Tarox at Morlefeed.
You're just rubbing salt in it now.
No, look, that's boring. He should have like a 4-up invon. At least. At least. And also, it kind of feels now that we're playing this game that the guardsmen I just have so much more than you.
You had more than me anyway,
Yeah,
but I
but
have
now it's like
total
ridiculous.
I have 12 berserkers? I have
Yeah.
Ugh, yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we
I
we
know-
can't forget that he does have a
I
massive
know I've got
bloodletter
the
bomb.
bloodletter bomb.
But then it's like, where are they going to go?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know.
I'm going to have to think a lot.
Well, look,
I don't like thinking.
I'm going. You don't think this Taurox is nonetheless going to target the Mauler Fiend.
Do you not want to target that Mauler Fiend so you can charge in?
No, because then if I charge you, I'll definitely kill him, and I may as well have just shot him.
So you shoot him.
Shoot
you want
him.
me to shoot the Bloodthirster?
Do it now! He's right here, kill
All right. Well, then I'm willing you to make the saves.
Well, I would like to make the saves.
I would
Okay.
like to make some saves today.
2 crack
that
missiles.
would be pleasant. Missiles. Dude.
3's to wound. Only 1 wound, Chef.
5 up.
Come on, Chef.
Damage.
Do you have a reroll though?
Nope, I used it earlier to stop Sargara from dying.
Okay. Okay, I've only rolled a 1.
Do you want to command reroll it?
Well, I suppose tactically I
You
should.
should.
Okay. I'll reroll. Chef.
There you go.
Oh,
Goodbye.
that's so sad.
Yep.
The Bloodthirster.
Bye.
Folks. Yeah.
There was a bloodthirster.
Yeah, there was a Bloodthirster. Unfortunately, now there isn't a Bloodthirster. I am genuinely disappointed, but I suspect if I hadn't have fired that Tarox, as Chef has just said off camera, at the Bloodthirster, people would be like, why didn't you do that? Well, okay, fine. This is the result. The
Thanks,
good news
guys.
is... yeah.
Thanks a bunch.
It's got nothing to do with my ability to roll saving
No,
throws at all.
you were rolling pretty poorly on those saves. But the good news is you do have a 30-man Bloodletter Bomb coming in.
Yes.
That will do some serious damage. And these Berserkers can easily clear out the Tempestus. So, and you therefore potentially, depending on how you angle it, get those points. And it is about who holds more points.
I'm not out of it yet.
No, not yet. It's just a shame. I wanted to see that Bloodthirster fight. But that is the end of the shooting phase. It is now the charge phase. We are, of course, going to charge both of these Mauler Fiends. We make the charge with both the Mauler Fiends.
Very good.
Okay. The Ferryman, ready to backhand now with his Paragon Gauntlets.
Failing
he
everything.
puts 3 attacks into this Mauler Fiend and 2 into this one.
Fails everything.
Not with hitting on 2s with a reroll.
Hitting on 2s
And with
with a reroll. All 3 hit. Strength 16. It is 3 wounds.
3 saves.
Oh,
2
he's made
saves.
2. That's good,
Two
Chef.
saves.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the 2 attacks. So in theory.
Okay, 2 attacks. This could be interesting now. 2 attacks. Do both hit.
They both fail to wound!
No, they do both wound.
Save both. I save
He
one.
saves one.
I am not going to command point it.
Because how many CP have you got left, Chef?
I've got one left. I mean, I could command point it to keep him on full profile, but I'm still wounding you on freeze with my fists.
Shit.
And I'm still wounding you on
This
fires
is good.
with my tentacles, so...
Oh, chaos are ready to strike back. Okay, well, it's still my initiative, so I would get to choose the next unit, assuming you're not interrupting.
I can't with one command.
I've only got one CP left. Okay. Well, my next unit to attack would, of course, be this Jackal against this Mauler Fiend. So then we get some dice for that. This Jackal now opens up against the Mauler Fiend. It is still 4 attacks, but we are hitting on 4s. And we can't re-roll. This is no longer the first round of... Whoa!
What's that? You can't re-roll because it's not the first round of combat? Yes!
This lone Berserker now attacks the Jackal.
You're going to degrade him.
Wish him luck, folks. He hits twice. Ah, no. Okay,
Curses.
so no wounds.
No.
It would now be my initiative. I've only got the 1 unit to attack back with. It will be, of course, I'll do the sweep attack. So 8 attacks. We do hit on 3s with this one, although we can't re-roll anything. We do miss with 4, and then to wound 3s. Just 2 wounds actually, -2.
Double 5.
Oh, what a beast!
What a champ!
Yeah!
He is the true lord.
Fist off. Now this I am enjoying because the fight is on and it is close. Very, very cool. So this Mauler Fiend now.
We'll work our way along.
Oh, you're doing the second round of attacks.
Yeah,
okay.
we're going to go...
Fine.
Fortunately, we have the thing to mark out where it was.
Yes.
We're going to work our way along, so we're going to go from
the Berserker first.
beast mode fight to yes fight to yes fight. So, beast mode fight.
Okay.
That's death to the false emperor. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
But he's going to wound. He wounds once at
does
-1.
wound.
He's going to degrade him.
He doesn't degrade him today,
It's fine.
Chef.
It's just a prelude.
Oh.
On him.
Okay.
So he's got
Dino
5
Bots.
wounds left.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to use Demon Forge. So
No.
4's to hit. Alright.
Got a hit. All right.
And freeze to wound. Should have used Demon Forge.
Oh.
And then the tentacles. Okay.
Okay.
It's enough.
It is enough.
If I roll 5s and 6s. Which
Oh. So it's a stalemate. These
Okay.
two just battling it out.
Alright. Well.
Okay, well, it will be the big kahuna fight. Can these two, like carrion, crawl up the ferryman and drag him down? We'll see in just a moment. And here it is. It is the Mauler Fiends versus the ferryman. I'm looking forward to this. He's just spent the CP for Demon Forge on that one.
This one,
but we're kicking off with this one first.
Start with the non-forged one.
Drag the ferryman down. He's got to hit. He's got to hit, folks.
So forced hit, freeze to wound. That's
Got a wound. Okay.
-3.
I save on a 6. No, I fail that. That's a flat 3 damage.
Tentacles.
Okay. Oh, Chef.
That's 3 hits.
That's 3 hits.
I need 5s and 6s to wound.
Okay.
That's no wounds.
No wounds.
Okay.
Okay, but he's taken 3 damage so far.
But the forge.
There it is. 21 wounds left as we move on to the Demon Forge Mauler Fiends.
This
Can
is
we
the-
have an upset
This
here,
is the
Chef?
important one.
Ooh,
The Demon Forge.
3 hits.
Freeze to wound. Strength 10. Demon Forge.
Oh no, it's 3 wounds.
That's -3. Flat 3 damage.
Oh, Chef. I save 1, but that's 6 wounds that go through.
Down to 15.
Oh no. Okay, so it's now the tentacles.
Lasher tendrils.
2 hits so far.
But re-roll. That's better.
Uh-oh, 5
Now, if I can
hits.
get that again, that would be grand.
Well,
That's 2.
2 wounds. Demon Forge re-rolling.
Demon Forge.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
-2 on this one.
-2. We save 2, but we fail 2. That's 4 damage. Only
least
on
he-
11 wounds
At
left.
least he's degraded.
Okay, he's degraded, but he is very damaged now.
Yeah.
That could open things up later on for him to be killed, which could be significant. Very, very interesting. As Mr. Beard would say, Welly Wellington. I believe that marks the end of the fight phase. Because you've struck with everything, and I've struck
he
with
sadly
everything.
whiffed. He managed to do a wound to him.
Yeah.
So we just need to knock him down in a minute, and they've done their. That's it for combat. It's just a morale check for these guys.
Okay, so let's just do that morale check now.
2 more run away.
Oh, shame. Okay.
The fearless Khorne Berserkers!
Oh dear. Berserkers, unfortunately, breaking over there. But he has done some damage, and he has maintained holding up my own combatants in my lines, and it is his turn next. Can you say Bloodletter Bomb? We're about to see what happens as we go into Khorne turn 2 coming up next. This is war. It's getting grim in the dark here as bursting into reality, the Bloodletter Bomb has arrived. 30 of them around here, ready to sweep aside the Militarum Tempestus and claim back the active tactical objective. Meanwhile, the Khorne Berserkers, smelling oil in the air and hearing that horrible tortured sound of bent metal, twisted metal, and as the Mauler Fiends attempts to drag the ferryman down, the Berserkers have moved towards him. Because guess what, folks? They could help drag him down. And then all of a sudden, we'll be in a lot of trouble. So at the end of this battle round, we could have Chef in a position where he's holding this objective, and the active tactical objective, which would give him 4 points this battle round. Uh-oh. So it's going to be a big one, folks. It's shooting coming up next. Light bit of shooting here. The Rhino's Combi Bolter will attempt to take on Slade's command squads.
Yep, just in range of the medic, so...
1 hit.
No wounds.
No wounds. And then I believe we have some Berserker's pistols in range of the command squad. 2 hits. No wounds. Okay. Clearly, the damage is not going to be done in the shooting phase. We get on with where it's at this game, the charge phase coming up next. It's Cadian time here, as the 2 Berserkers that moved up need an 11-inch charge. So if he does make it, we could be in a situation where also he holds that objective, which would be huge. Do we get to make our Overwatch? No, not a single hit, Mr. Chef.
Yep.
It's down to you. You need an 11. That's the tricky part. Chef channeling Khorne's energy. Will it pay off?
Yeah.
8. It is Khorne's number, to be fair.
But let's re-roll that for the Icon of Wrath.
Re-rolling Icon of Wrath. Can Chef make it on an 11?
Oh no!
Now on to the more important charge. That would have been an amazing bonus, of course, but this is what needs to happen. Who are we charging first?
Right, we're going to start with the character first because he doesn't get any rerolls of any kind, and so we want to make sure that he's going straight in rather than having to go all the way around his mates.
But he does get rerolls in combat because I'm a character.
He does.
This is huge.
So by the looks of like the manoeuvring around the terrain, we're looking at an 8.
Okay.
Khorne's number. Well, poo.
Do you?
I don't have any
use...
command points.
Oh,
I used the last one on Demon Forge.
Oh no. Okay. Well, we've got the other Berserker unit, which, to be fair, the Berserkers could and should be enough.
They should be.
I think that makes it.
Yeah, that will.
Yep, so an 8 will make it, and then he can pile in with the rest of them. Ouch. Now we move on to this monstrosity, the Bloodletter Bomb, declaring a charge against all 3 Tempestus units here. So what I'm going to get to do is have to roll 8 plasma shots over here. I'm just going to do those first because I've got old grudges, so I can get to reroll failed wounds. So first of all, we've got 8 plasma. 1's a hit on the Overwatch, 1 is a wound.
5 up. No.
Kills 1. Okay, and then we're going to go for the 4 plasma over here. They won't get rerolls to wounds. No hits there. Okay, then we've got 12 shots for the 2 units over here. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 6s. 1 hit. Rerolls because of old grudges. That is a wound. We kill another. Okay. And then we've got 6 shots from this unit.
Oh, good.
3 hits. So that's nice. Then 4s. Just the 1 wound, can't re-roll because of old grudges, but we do kill another.
So 3.
So now 27 blood letters left. But can he make the charge? It's 3d6 because he's activated the Icon of Bloods.
Icon of Blood!
Or Banner of Bloods, as it's called. Okay.
So using my 3d6 charge from that.
That's it. And you get +1 because I'm a musician.
Absolutely.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. +1 is 11.
Very good.
So it's not a huge charge, but it's enough
it should
to
be enough
make
to get everything.
contact with all 3 units. Very nice. That's the lay of the land now, folks. So obviously had to conga line to maintain coherency and so forth, but he will be piling in momentarily with those. But now it's a game of activations. So he's, of course, activating the Berserkers first here.
Yep. Since the charge.
Because he's painfully aware I've got 5 CP, I can interrupt. Now, if he manages to bring the ferryman down before I even get to strike back, that could be significant. We're kicking this off, folks. Berserkers versus the ferryman. Can they bring him down? He's only got 11 wounds left. It is possible. It's a full complement of Berserkers here.
Which makes a nice change.
Which is exactly. And they're re-rolling failed wounds because of the... no, they're not, because he didn't make the charge.
No, but he doesn't need to be in combat.
No, he doesn't. But
he gives them reroll wounds.
Absolutely. Is he within 6 inches, Chef? Perfect. Yes. Okay, good. So they will be re-rolling failed wounds against the ferryman, which is another huge advantage.
1, 2, 3, 4.
They just needs to bring him down.
7, 8, and a champ.
A lot of attacks.
I've been forgetting to fire my pistol over there with that Khorne Berserker, but actually, if I remember rightly, I attacked with 3 attacks instead of 2, so that kind of equals it out.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because you
kind of, a little bit. Yeah.
Actually, I'm pretty sure the Berserker champion does have 3 attack space.
Oh, you know, he would.
Yeah, he does. So.
Ignore me, everyone. I'm chatting nonsense.
Here we go.
Hit on freeze. That's not great for death.
Great, but given the
actually,
it's not that bad.
Not that bad.
No.
I've got 4
Death to the False Emperors,
which generate more attacks, right?
No.
Right. 5s to wounds.
That's 5s to wounds. The ferryman. They could bring him down in one fell swoop here, folks. This is a very real threat.
Rerolling as well. Not shabby to start with, considering it's 5s and it's me rolling. So
rerolling all these wounds now. Or the Exalted Champion, rather. Okay, hits a couple more.
That was not actually that good.
No.
That was pretty terrible. 6 wounds at -1.
6 wounds. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds. Now I only get 4 up armor saves here because of your -1. We do make 5. 4 rather. We do fail 2. That's now put us into 9 wounds remaining. Ouch. However, this is where the ferryman gets nasty. So sensing his own demise, he unleashes controlled aggression for 1 CP, and he interrupts the cycle of combat here for the Legion of the World Eaters. So I'm down to 2 CP now, but I'm going to split my attacks and I am going to do the tap dance. So I'm going to do 3 of the attacks, which becomes 9 attacks against the Berserker unit, and I'm going to do 2 of the attacks, which becomes 6 attacks against the Mauler Fiends. Now, controlled aggression is a Housecrast stratagem, and for every unmodified hit roll of a 6, it becomes 3 hits instead of 1.
No, that says it becomes 2 hits.
Yeah, but if you're a Chaos unit,
because
so it's my death to the False Emperor.
We're that powerful, clearly.
Exactly. So, okay, now, here's the thing.
Right.
Because you've just charged me, I now get crassed again for re-rolling the hits.
Yeah, because that's not as like just whenever you're charged.
Exactly, it's the first round of any new phase. So it's whether I charged or was charged. Cool. So since you charged me, which is now another round,
I reactivate it.
You reactivate it. So let's kick this off. 9 attacks. Now I am degraded, so I'm hitting on 3s instead of 2s.
Yes.
Against the Berserkers, and I can re-roll. Now, incidentally, I haven't got any 6s yet. And I still haven't got any 6s, so that could have been worse.
Still 7.
So right, 2s.
Yeah.
Okay, that is 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds at -2.
-2, so 5s.
He's made 2.
No.
He's failed 4. So 4 Berserkers are killed, but could have been far worse because I didn't get any 6s there.
2.
We now do 6 attacks against the Mauler Fiends. Let's see how we go against him. Chef removes the dead there.
Yep.
So 6 attacks against the Mauler Fiends. Now I have got a 6 there right off the bat, and I can re-roll 2.
So hang on, so that becomes
3 hits. I think. Let's re-roll those 2. Okay, so we're looking at.
That's fine. I'm just thinking because it's that really wonky. You've now done multiple hits with a multiple attack weapon.
Yes.
What nonsense that no one's really sure how it actually works. So you make 3 hit rolls for each attack made with this weapon, but the crass thing specifies you make 3 hits instead of 1. Not,
yes.
Yeah. Cool.
So
That's
that
fine.
works.
Yeah, that works.
So
it's
this
when you get like
2 additional hits.
Yeah, basically.
So 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that many hits.
Okay.
So it's a bit like a Tesla.
Sure.
And then to wound you would need 3s.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow. We only wound twice.
Oh, no.
The ferryman has whiffed big time here.
5s for my inbounds.
5s. I'm tempted to do a re-roll.
We've got 2 left.
Because he's on 5. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be killing anything at this stage, with even if you pass one of those.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. Only 2 CP left, folks. Having a long think. I need to get as many through as I can to potentially kill that Mauler Fiends. Oh, I'd like to save it on a damage roll. Chances are you could save one. No, I'm going to have to go for it. I use a reroll. I've got 1 CP left. It fails to wound anyway.
Should have thought about it for so long.
Okay, can he pass both?
No.
He failed both anyway. So I could still kill this Mauler Fiend here. 2d3. Oh, not quite. 4 wounds. He's left alive on 1.
It's not cocked.
But there you go. The ferryman's done his attacks. We've spent most of our CP, and he is still left standing. So we now move back to the remaining berserkers. Can they now bring him down? 9 wounds left. Oh, big fight here, folks. That's a lot of death to the false emperors there.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there.
Okay,
All right.
6 additional attacks. This could be his demise.
Okay. Which only translates into 2 additional hits because
Yes, you rolled loads of 1
I rolled not very well.
Okay.
I am still re-rolling to failed wounds though
Yes.
because of the exalted champ.
Yeah.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 so
4,
far. So
okay.
already doing better than last turn.
Yeah, and then the rolling of the wounds again. This is getting dangerous here.
That's good.
That's very good. That's very, very
that
good.
is 9
Chef.
saves at -1.
That's 1 for each wound he has.
He's gonna fail them all.
No. 9 wounds left. Okay, I do fail 4 by the looks of that. So, he's down. He's down to 5 wounds. Oh my goodness. Now we move on to this carnage. The Bloodletters, the next charging unit. Now, I did forget to mention at the end of the charge phase that Slades had done a heroic intervention. He's just within an inch of one of the Bloodletters there. Chef's also just been doing some pile-ins as well, in addition to that. So, let's do this. We're opening with sort of this flank, if you like, first.
So 6 attacks.
Yep.
Because they're the ones that are in range. I'm hitting on 2s because there's more than 20 in the unit.
Yes. I think you've got more than 1 attack each, Chef.
1 attack each.
1
attack each. Nope. 1 attack each. Trust me.
But Chef,
No, I'm gonna check. No.
I know that the demonic loci you can get, but I think on the charge you get an additional attack.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
See,
So
I mean, to be fair, this is my first game ever with like demons.
yes. So +1 strength I think you get on the charge, as well as +1 attack. Unless I'm going mad, which is possible.
No, I think you're right actually, because I remember reading that and going, oh, that's good.
And then with certain characters you can get even more attack.
Charges is charged or performs, add 1 to the strength of attacks, and then the heralds give you +1 strength as a locus.
Yeah.
So yes, so I'm strength 5, so I'm still winning you on freeze, but more importantly, that gives me more attacks. Thank you.
No problem. So it's 12 attacks now.
That's better.
That's significant to hit.
Right, 2s to hit.
Yeah. Very nice.
Very good. And then freeze to win because I'm strength 4 base.
Yeah,
Strength
but you're
5
-3,
charge.
aren't you?
-3.
Yeah, so no saves even with my Tempestus armour.
That is 9.
9 of those guardsmen are slain. I mean, that would almost automatically be a failed leadership. At this point, I will even remove the plasma. I'll keep the sergeants just in case. I am near the banner, and I seem to remember that allows me to do something cool. So anyway, those 9 are dead. Next.
Let's work it out.
Okay, let's, yeah, you work out your attacks, we'll come back. We're now over here to this horde. Now, I did mention he did charge all 3 units, but I should have also specified that we did have 1 rank, and then the other unit was another rank behind. So he's actually only made contact with the first rank. But, of course, if he kills these, he can consolidate into the others and lock them up. So, here we go.
So obviously, even though I declared it against that second one, I don't get to attack them again because it's a free command point stratagem. But that's what you get for not paying attention to where units are deployed, guys.
So here we go.
2's to hit with my extra attack. I've added in the champion as well, so I've got 23 here.
Very nice.
1, 2, 3, 4 miss, so that's 19.
Okay.
Freeze to kill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12 deads. Well, guess what? That unit is slain. And this is how it stands now after the consolidation. So he has, of course, tagged the other units. However, and we did have a little look at it to see if he could trap a model so that therefore I couldn't fall back easily. But because once that first rank was gone, his 3-inch pile-in, he's not quite got enough leeway to get around and trap either Slade or one of these other guys. So he's not going to be able to trap me, but he has tagged me. So that's something. Now we're going to move over here. And we have this Mauler Fiend, actually, I should say. You're moving over here, right?
Yes.
Into the Jackal.
He's interrupted, so I'm not worried about
there's no point
attacking.
doing that, exactly.
You don't have any attack against stratagems, so...
Here we go. Can he bring down the Jackal?
Well, with 4 attacks now.
Because he's got. Because remember, these have been healing a wound every turn, which is why they're a bit cheeky.
Each of my turns. If it was every player.
Oh, then it would be really amazing.
Nice.
Okay.
So I am back to 4 attacks in strength 12 with the fists, but no rerolls, of course. So fists.
3 hits, not bad at all.
Strength 12.
Sure.
So still freeze to it.
It's got a wound. Okay.
-3.
It is -3. Do fail that save.
So he's down to
2 wounds now.
2. So now the tentacles. So strength 6 tentacles. So still wounding on 5s. I get 2.
2 hits. Yep. Only 2 wounds left.
That is 1 and
-1 wound.
2.
This could kill him. Except I do make my save, just. Oh, it's a fight and a half between those 2, isn't it? Here we go. Still on 7 wounds here. 8 attacks back on the champion because now I'm going to activate him. Can we do the bit...
Ow.
Okay.
Well, that makes up for last time when you like...
Yeah, well, I just whiffed with everything. Okay, 3's to wound though. Well, okay, you're looking at 5 wounds. 5.
Right. Hero! No.
Okay, he's dead.
He tried.
He's just consolidated there towards the Mauler Fiends, and now we do come back to the main combats. It's the last Mauler Fiends.
Well, it's
I say the last Mauler
hit
Fiend.
this Mauler Fiend.
Yes.
So...
Stress is high.
I'm going to leave the super wounded one for last.
Okay.
Because it's insulting.
Because it's insulting.
And also because he gets to reroll wounds with the champion.
You sure?
So, the non-rerolling guy, fists.
Okay.
Strength 10, freeze to it.
Okay.
It's 1 wound. -3.
The stress. Failed save, Chef. I've got 2 wounds left on the ferryman. Tendrils. Okay.
Balls.
Got 3 hits. Oh, stress here. I've got 2 wounds left, everyone.
I'm still strength 5, so it's 5s and 6s.
Oh no! It's got 1
-2.
wounds.
And you've got 1 command point left. And
Yes.
you haven't used a command reroll this turn.
Not in this fight phase, have I?
In this fight phase, no.
Oh no! Didn't I use it to try and reroll a wound on you
I don't believe so.
with the knights?
I don't think so.
Oh,
no, you you did and you failed. Yeah, because I failed both invuns anyway.
No, so I cannot re-roll this fight phase. So I need a 5 or a 6 now for the ferryman to survive yet again. The ferryman is not ready to take that trip down the river yet. Certainly not before he takes another of you with me.
Do you want to try that again?
There was a
I mean, that's a little bit cocked. You want to try that again?
No, it's a stretch, Chef.
No,
Chef!
even the dice don't want to make a decision on this.
It's okay. 6. Oh no! Okay. Now, that does mean the ferryman would be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
I might use that strat where I blow up a little easier.
Yeah, on a 4.
Makes sense.
I'm going to check it.
Let me guess. It's a 1 command point stratagem, right?
Actually, I think it is. All right, let's double check. Here's the thing. It is 2 CP. It's not 1. So that does mean that I need to roll a natural 6 to go Kamehameha.
What you doing
Let's make
anyway?
this happen.
No.
Oh, I saw that. Unfortunately, it is not a 6. The ferryman does fall. That is significant. Folks, this is it. 4 attacks now from the heavily damaged Jackal into the Mauler Fiend. I am hitting on 5s at this stage. I do get a hit. Mm-hmm. I'm hit obviously during the heavy attack with Chain Glaive. It is a wounds.
5 up in boom.
He does make it. Very nice. This Mauler Fiend's doing very well on 7 wounds. That is this centre of the board now finished. It's just Slade left to attack and the Genome. Okay, let's do Slades with the Reaper's Hand, the Power Fist. He's going to be hitting you on 4s because of the -1. 3 hits, of course.
Showing how
Wounding you on 2, Chef. 3 wounds. Slades of the Reapers takes his toll. And now 12 attacks after they see their furious commander down 3 of the Bloodletters with the Reaper's Hand. The Geno hitting on 4s. Okay. And then to wounds. And Old Grudges, because we're within 6. Just 2 wounds. But they do kill another 2. How many Bloodletters have I killed now? 8. So that was 5. Alright, so 8. So I mean, that is
I'm automatically failing the morale check.
Unless you roll a 1, then reality would blink. So that could be interesting. Well, you know what? That does mark the end of the turn. Oh. So it is morale.
Alright.
So
I lost 4 over there.
4 over there for the Berserkers. 2. They're okay.
Alright.
The Bloodletters.
So if it's a 1, d6 come back. If it's anything else, that many +1 run away.
Yes. It's a 2. Okay. So it could have been far, far worse.
Yep.
So 8. 8 killed +2. Leadership is 7. So 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, 3 more Bloodletters.
We've got a morale for him to make.
He cannot pass even with the banner, which incidentally he was just outside of 6 inches of the banner for +1 leadership anyway. So that unit's dead.
2.
Interesting stuff there. It was a significant turn. Now, here's the big thing, folks. He gets 2 points for the active objective, 1 point here for 3, and 1 point here for 4. So in that turn, Chef got 4 points.
Yep, that puts me on 7.
So he's on 7, and I'm only on 4. Oh no, sorry, I get 2
you're
points.
2 as well, so you're on 6.
Ignore that. So I'm on 6, but he is now ahead on points, and he's got 3 War Machines in my lines. This is starting to become very, very interesting. Right, folks, it's turn 3 for the Imperium. What objective will be the active objective now? Please, can it not be 2 or 1? Which one is it? It's 1 again, which is this one.
Wow.
Well, that is not that bad, because actually I think I can get it this turn if everything goes to plan. But I would much prefer it to be in a safer position in my own lines. Let's see what happens. It's movement phase coming up next. This is how it's going down. Turn 3 movement phase for the forces of the Imperium. This Jackal has moved all the way over here, is now within 3 inches of this objective. The command squad did advance, they moved 3. And we are looking, of course, to make absolutely every priority on this objective here, because we need those points. This Jackal has fallen back to open this one up to some shooting from the thermal spear over here. Meanwhile, of course, we've got the Tower Rock still stationary. All of the guardsmen have remained stationary so that we can put as much fire into the enemy as possible. And then over here, Slade himself has fallen back out of combat. and his scions have fallen back with him. So I can just tell you now with the orders, what we'll be doing in the shooting phase is he's going to order them to get back in the fight. He's then with his second order on the command rod, and don't forget the Voxcast has actually become handy this time. He is going to be ordering them to run. Or move, whatever it's called. So basically I can get within 3 of that objective by standing up here. And then his third and final order, if it went off on a 2 or more to himself, would also be to get back in the fight. So yes, so that would go off with his auto reliquary of Tiberius. And orders over here, the company commander, again I'll do take aim on the mortars, and over here I'll do take aim on that unit there. So that's the orders of the day. It's shooting coming up next. We need a big one this one. Let's see how we go. We're opening up with the thermal spear into this Mauler Fiends. The heavy stubber will go into the bloodletters. So thermal spear, just the 1 shot. I do have 1 CP left. I need everything to count, and I need as many shots as I can get. I will re-roll that with my last CP. No. Okay, 1 hit. It is a hit. Can we wound? We can wound. Now, we are in melter range, I should warn you.
Don't care.
Not that it matters. On a 5, significant. Heavy stubber. 3 hits. That is 2 wounds. That is 1 letter killed. Okay. Taurox now here over on the left flank will do the autocannons at the 1 wound Mauler Fiends and the crack missiles at the 5 wound Mauler Fiends. So I'll open up with the autocannons. That's 3 hits. That's 1 wound. It's a save or die situation. He is dead. Does he blow up?
I hope not.
Ooh, no,
Good.
close.
Good puppy.
But we've gotten rid of that dog. That's good. 2 crack missiles into this Mauler Fiends now. Let's bring these dogs down. That's a hit. It's a failed wound. Okay, we're going to move on to the second Taurox, which will be doing the autocannons and the crack missiles at that same Mauler Fiends. Okay, so first up, crack missiles. Both hit. Crack missiles. 1 wounds. Crack missile. Does fail a save. No rerolls available. D6 damage. It's 4. We'll take that. He's got 1 wound left. The autocannons, chef.
Yep.
Autocannons. 3 hits. Reliable. To wounds. It's a save or die situation. It's a 6. He is alive. Just. This Taurox now will open up 4 autocannon rounds into this 1 wound Mauler Fiends, 2 crack missiles into this Mauler Fiends. We'll open with the autocannons. Only 1 hit there, chef. It's a failed wound.
You'll have to kill him with lasguns.
Yeah, 2 crack missiles. Both hit this time, though. Both wounds. Oh, wow. Significant.
It's about time I'm making saves!
Las rifles now will be firing at the Berserkers. So we've got 13 shots because some are in rapid fire range. We can re-roll 1s. Okay, but we rolled really well. Okay. So, that is, wow, 5 saves. Okay. Now the Berserkers are in cover, for what it's worth.
It's worth nothing!
Nothing. 2 1s, so 2 Berserkers cut down. These Cadians now, 2 of them are in rapid fire of these 2 Berserkers. Let's see what we can do. Now they're re-rolling all hits because they were given the orders. Okay, and then 5s to wounds. We've got 3 wounds there, chef.
Right.
The Berserkers are slain. Significant. Folks, this is it. 3 mortars will go at the 1 wound Mauler Fiend. That's how we have to roll. Desperate times, desperate measures. But we've already established that these are armour-piercing rounds, chef.
Yeah, they've already blown up a
But
rhino.
they have. So, right, so we've got 3, 6, 9 shots.
Yep.
We're re-rolling all hits.
God, oh, come on.
Oh no. But to be fair, the rerolls didn't do anything.
The reroll. Yeah, that's about right with rerolls.
Right, 5s.
Just grim.
Oh wow, 5 6s, chef.
Right.
On that Maul of... Oh, he's destroyed. We did get him in the end.
He doesn't.
He doesn't blow up.
Oh, bye, puppy.
Those incredible waters. Can you believe it? 4 las rifles from this guardsman unit now into the remaining berserkers. Only 4 are in range. We can reroll the ones because of Cadian. 3 hits. 1 wound.
Ah! I'll roll it properly.
Okay.
I
didn't see what you rolled anyway. He's rolled a 1. Oh, chef. That leaves the champion alive, or the banner. Well, with a morale issue though. Maybe the champion's better.
Well, I've lost 3 this turn. Leadership 7 versus leadership 8. No reroll to charge. Yeah.
Just in case.
We're gonna play the mission now.
Yeah, you have
than
to.
Going for charge.
You have to. Now the scions. Oh, and incidentally, I should have done the move at the beginning of the shooting phase, but the intention was to just go here. 6 was enough anyway. I would have got the advance with the run. But all it means is one of these is within 3 of that objective. That's what I want. And they can't do any shooting. But we come back over here. We've got 5 rifles that can rapid fire into the bloodletters. No rerolls here. Okay. Now we can reroll failed wounds because of Old Grudge, which is quite nice.
And necessary.
And necessary, as the case may be. So, because we want to kill as many of these as possible. Oh wow! That's 7 wounds.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I think quite a bit.
Okay, 7 saves.
7 saves.
That is 5.
That's 5 kills. Okay, Grim in the dark. Now, what we've also got is a pistol from the sergeant.
Yes.
He hits.
Is he not firing a frag grenade?
No, the Voxcaster will. So it's the same difference. They're both firing pistols. 1 wound. That's
Save.
okay. We've got a frag grenade from the Voxcaster. 4 shots. Only 1 hit. Failed wound, reroll Old Grudge. No, okay. And then what we have are the rapid fire plasma.
Okay.
2 hits. Obviously, I wasn't overcharging.
Obviously.
2 wounds. That's 2 more kills.
More dead.
That's the Scion unit fired. It's then Slade, who had ordered himself to get back in the fight, so he's going to do a frag grenade. 5 shots this time. That is 4 hits. And Old Grudge. Just 3 wounds.
Just
3 wounds, yes. Another 2 dead. Okay, we're getting through them now.
That's not good.
So this is it. Just a knight left. He declares a charge, as you would expect, on the bloodletters. In he goes. Like so. Okay. No other charges being declared, funnily enough. That jackal had fallen back. And we've still got this massive Mauler Fiend which is about to prey upon us. But not much we can do about that. So, based on this, let's go right into the fight phase coming up next. This is it. 8 attacks from the Chain Glaive. Sweep attacks. Rerolling failed hits. House Crest. All hits. 2s to wounds. Which is quite handy. Okay, 7 wounds here, Chef.
Right.
Those bloodletters.
That's
he's rolled well. That's incredible.
good.
Only 2 dead.
We needed that.
Wowzers.
We really needed that.
Attacks back now with the blood letters. Just consolidating.
Get back
hiding
in
in
coherency, lads, as best as you can.
Okay.
So, just go in there like this, basically, just to try and maintain as much coherency as possible.
Yep.
You're going there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. The champion and his command group are out of range, but
Sure.
Because you've charged me, I will remember
Yes.
to add my +1 attack. So I have
Yes.
8 attacks. I'm only hitting on 3s now.
Sure.
Sure. Let's do this. Okay, very good.
Nice. Good roll.
So I'm strength 5, your toughness 7, so it doesn't matter.
No.
Um,
So straight up 5.
5s, but 6s do 2 damage.
Yes. Significant.
Oh, that's the.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness.
3 6s and a 5.
And
That
a
is
-3
huge.
as well.
And -3. Okay, let's do the -3 ones first.
Well,
I
they're
do
all
pass
-3.
1.
I'm assuming you mean the 2
I mean the 2 damage ones first. So that is 4 points of damage that go through, plus Another one. 5 points. It heavily degrades him, and he's only got 2 wounds left now. That marks the end of the turn. Not a bad one. Could have been better. Could have been worse. We now need to roll for morale. We've got 2 morales.
Both
the
quite
champion.
Important ones.
Both
as well.
pretty significant here, folks. There's no CP for either of us to manipulate anything anymore.
So I lost 3.
Okay, 3
Leadership
from the
8.
middle berserker units. He's rolled a 5, 6, 7, 8.
Woo!
That
That was close. That was close. Okay.
Okay.
And now we need the opposite over here because I've lost a lot. 1,
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12. He's lost
My
12.
leadership is 7.
Yes.
And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys left.
Okay.
Hang on. Wait.
There is trouble.
Yeah, I've lost. Okay. It's fine. I'm going to roll a 1.
Oh, they are so dead.
That's...
The unit is wiped. Unfortunate, because if he had managed to keep them alive, that could have been a significant turning point in this game.
That's 18.
Because it would have meant that he had
wounds.
guaranteed held that objective, because they have the troops. But that is the way it goes. Oh, he's passed over here and he's failed over here.
Ugh.
The bloodletters are destroyed. This is it. Turn 3 for the Forces of Chaos. This is a summary. The Exalted Champion comes stomping this way. He would need a 10-inch charge to make the command squads. The Mauler Fiends has come round this way, looking at swinging round here, potentially threatening that objective. And of course he's healed the wounds. The Berserker Champion is now moved up to take cover behind the wall to hold that objective.
As best as he can.
The Rhinos remain static, holding that objective. We're going to go straight into the shooting. Is there any shooting?
We're going to pop off a pistol shot because it'll be
Okay.
equidistant for charge even if I do kill
Pistol
one.
shots.
I hit.
Hits. Pistol shots.
I wound.
Wounds. Pistol shots. Does kill 1.
Medikit.
Medikit.
Does that work?
I think I bring a guy back with it.
Is
actually.
that how it works?
I think so.
Okay.
I will kill.
Let's double check.
Yeah, let's double check. But if I have to kill anyone, because just in case I might need the orders, the long range orders, I'll kill the bannerman. Shame, but there we go. And then we move on to the charge phase. It is. I bring a model back, by the way, guys. Although incidentally, I could be gamey and remove the medikit, and then it would be a longer charge.
No,
because I think
the
it's
same
equidistant.
charge, yeah,
it doesn't
it'll be
matter.
equidistant.
It doesn't matter. Besides, I would keep the medikit alive anyway, because he might bring the bannerman back.
Which would be funny, but let's,
Okay, right.
let's cross that bridge when we come to it.
All right.
Because first of all, I'm going to make this 10-inch charge.
Okay, he's got to make a 10-inch charge, folks. If he makes it, could be significant here. Could be significant.
Oh my god!
No, he's failed. He's failed. It's a tale of tragedy. It's a tale of tragedy. The Exalted Champion failed
I mean, I'm
the
clutching at
charge.
straws anyway.
Now,
but come on.
Well, I did. It's true, but if you'd made it, it would have been awesome. Because then
Right.
you'd get that objective. Look.
Well, I would have killed then and piled in over
Well,
there.
exactly. Which would have at least contested the objective.
Which was the goal.
Which was the goal, exactly. Now, I do get to overwatch you, though.
Oh, yes.
So let's do the pistol first. Oh no, the pistol's not in range. Sorry, it's just the melter gun.
Just do the melter gun.
Oh
and roll a
no!
six. Come on.
Oh no,
Come
Chef. Chef. Oh, oh no.
Go on.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
I have no invuln.
Chef,
I have
you
that.
must have a 5-up.
I've got no invuln.
Not like this.
I've got 4 wounds. You have a 50-50 chance.
Oh. We're gonna move on. The ball of
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, Lawrence.
Okay.
Not like this.
It's fine. It's
Okay,
fine.
the ball. The ball of feet now. Declaring a charge against.
Right, I'm charging both the warglaive and the infantry that's holding the objective.
Okay, so first of all, the warglaive. D3 thermal. 1 thermal.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. Then I win. Oh, okay.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
These are getting into the realms of ridiculousness. Right, I will get a lot of las rifles.
You will.
1, 2, 3, 4,
1 is just out of
5.
rapid fire, the rest are in.
6, 7,
And you should be able to throw a grenade.
8. So I don't think I get crack grenades though, do I?
Oh, no, you don't. So,
No,
well,
so-
a frag is still more shots than a las gun.
Sure, I'll do 1 frag as well. 1 hits, no wounds. Frag, 6 shots. 2 hits, No wounds. Okay. Making the charge. He makes a charge. Oh, and by the way, heavy stubber, just because people will say heavy stubber. I miss. There we go. Okay, Mauler Fiend goes in. 5, 6, 7 inches. 8 inches, rather. So threatening that objective there. Interesting. Right, this is the play. He's going for maximum damage across both units so that he could potentially take the objective with a bit of luck. It's risky, but you've got to go for it, right? You've got to go for the points. So here we go.
So, I'm doing 2 attacks on the armor guy,
Yep.
and then with my fists, and 2 attacks on the unit, and then the 6 tentacles on the unit.
Copy that.
So,
2
on the armor guy.
He's got one hit. Okay.
Freeze to wound.
Ah, he's failed the wounds. So you know that you will not be holding that objective, but he could, if he's lucky, contest it.
So, the 2 fists, one hit.
This is on the guardsman here, folks. Failed to wound.
Brilliant.
A horrible display.
And then 1, 2, 3,
But 4 tendrils
hits. And 2 to kill, strength 6. And it's -2.
Okay, so 4 of the guardsmen are in fact slain. But it's not going to be good enough, I suspect. That means, folks, I get to hit him back. So the Warglaive now 4 attacks back, hitting with the maximum power of the Chain Glaive. And I can re-roll because Krast. 2 hits here. Or should we call this a cock die? It looks really weird. Yeah, so 1 hit. Can I wound? I can wound you though.
5 up. No.
Does fail, it's 3 damage.
Down 4.
So 4 wounds left on that Mauler Fiend. He's still alive. Then the guardsman, for what it's worth, will pile in.
4? No, down to 5. What am I talking about?
5 wounds left. Oh yeah, of course, you're on 8, weren't you? So that's 3, 4, 5, 6 attacks with the sergeant. Okay. See if we can get some heroes happening here. 3 hits. No wounds. Okay. That's the end of the turn. Tragedy struck with the Exalted Champion, Meltadu.
It's literally just
that's the story of the game.
It is, isn't it?
Over here, again, tragedy. Now, I do have a morale issue. I'm not sure what it is that I need. I did roll a 5.
So you lost 4?
I lost 4.
Leadership 7, so you lose 2 guys. It's still
I'm still obsec.
So even a 6.
Defenders of Humanity, or whatever you want to call it. So I do have that objective at the end of this turn.
Okay, so at the end of the battle round, Chef, you hold 1, 2.
Yep, so that puts me on 9.
And then I hold 1, 2.
Yep.
And then this one for another 2.
Puts you on 10.
So that puts me on 10. So now I've overtaken you as we go into turn 4 for the Imperium. Here we go, folks. It's turn 4 now. Which will be the active tactical objective? We've been playing past the parcel. Will it be anything above a 1 or a 2? It is 5. That is the one right in the middle.
Well, that'll be easy for you to get.
Interesting. Okay. This is it. It's turn 4. It's a summary. We've done some advancing already. This guards unit has advanced. Platoon commander has advanced back there. He's now within 6. We're going to issue the orders in the shooting phase. Run, move, move, move. I'll do the advance now in the proper order. 6. Okay, so I want to move them in a minute. Basically, they're going to surround this objective. And over here, the Jackal has fallen back. The Guardsmen have fallen back. This Jackal has moved towards him. The 2 Taurox have moved around the volcanic terrain to look at this Mauler Fiend. This Taurox is looking at that Mauler Fiend. It is all getting very, very nasty here. This could be called a potential cleanup operation. Let's see if the Imperium can seal the deal. We're going to the shooting phase proper coming up next. This is it. We're in the shooting phase. Another order's been issued here. Take aim on the mortars. We're going to open with the mortars against that lone Berserker champion. Let's see if he can be a champion. He's got to take 13 hits.
13!
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
So that will
12,
translate
13.
to 17 hits because it's large.
We shall see, Chef. Perhaps I can make the magic happen. It is
That's about right so
few
far.
misses. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's about average.
Could have been far more Lawrence
13
there.
shots.
Okay, it's
Yeah,
only
he's
5 wounds.
Only.
It's only 5 wounds, Chef.
Yeah,
He's dead. Yeah, he's very dead. 2 1s. Can you believe it?
Every time!
Oh
Cover.
dear. Now we cut to the thermal cannon. D3 shots into the Mauler Fiends. Just the 1. Can it hit? No, because it is degraded. Then we're going to move on to the Taurox. 2 crack missiles into that Mauler Fiend. Both hit because he didn't move. One's a wound on a 6, one's a 1. Chef, can you save?
Yes, I can.
Chef!
No, I can't.
No. All right, on a 5 or a 6, the Mortar Fiend is destroyed. It's just the 1 though.
From the glaive.
Then we've got, say again?
Heavy stubber from the glaive.
Yes, heavy stubber as well. Good points. 2 hits because hitting on 5s and 1 wound. Hey. Oh no! He's got 3 wounds left as we go into the auto cannon from that same Tower Rocks. 3 hits. 1 wound.
Very cocked.
Okay, I'll reroll it. 2 wounds.
Oh,
he's got 1 wound left, Chef. Okay, we've got these 2 Tower Rocks now. Let's open up with the auto cannon first. They did move, so he's hitting on 4s. 2 hits. It is 2 wounds. Chef! Oh no! You finish it like that.
Do I explode?
Not like that.
I don't even go out with a bang.
And with that, we would mark the end of the turn. And just discussing with Chef, I think it's fair to say the end of the game. Because at the end of this battle round, you would hold 1.
Yep.
You can't really contest over here.
No.
You're not going to be able to kill enough.
No. Well, I wouldn't be able to get through.
Oh, it's true. You can't even get through that
I have
gap.
to go all the way around.
Exactly. So I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus, at the end of the game, I would have Line Breaker if the game were to end.
Yep.
So let's say I'm on 15 points.
15
points. The game, and then you would have another point, putting you on what?
Put me on 10.
10.
And then if we go into turn 5, it doesn't matter which objective is rolled. Even
No.
if we say that one,
Yeah.
you can move over here.
Yeah, and then just
And
take
just
it from
take
you
it from
anyway.
me.
And I'm going to start moving the Tower Rocks to get into line of sight to try and
If
shoot your Rhino.
if you don't blow it up, you could literally just move onto it and go.
And just take it
I'm just
anyway.
going to take it. So you would have, presuming 1 thing. You know, you're looking at 21 victory points to take.
Yeah,
at
and
that
you
point.
can't crawl back.
There's no way of crawling back at this point. If
A
I had a
shame.
few more units,
Yes,
you know, it
that's
would've
all you
been-
needed. Just a couple more units.
I just needed some berserkers to actually
If
survive.
that Exalted Champion had
Oh,
charged,
been epic.
that could have been a big one.
Yeah.
If the Bloodletters hadn't failed their
If I rolled a
morale.
1, look, I've been rolling 1s all game.
Chef, you rolled a 1 again, Chef.
It sums it up, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, and the fact you called it. Oh, look, I've been rolling 1s all game.
No, that is that just summed it up. And sometimes you know you do get games like that where just the dice aren't feeling it. I mean, for the most part, I had a few clutch saves.
Oh no, you did. The Mortar Fiends did so well.
And
it's cool you pulled the ferryman down.
But it's just I had to invest so much in doing that.
You did, yeah, you did.
And you were outnumbering me anyway. The Tauroxes were just doing so much work, just weakening stuff. And just
well, I think it says a lot. Like this, you know, obviously there'll be some people which think that this was a really optimized Astra Militarum list.
It's not.
It actually really wasn't. I've really, really toned it down.
Yeah.
But even doing the toning down, you just get so much for your points. And it makes me a bit sad, if I'm honest, about Chaos at the minute, because
it's a shame.
I mean, the Bloodthirster, it would have been like, why has he only got a 5-up invon?
I mean,
Why? Like, this guy should be terrified. The greater demons on the table, it should be like, oh, there's a greater demon on the table.
But if that's the thing, though,
3 Taroks killed him.
Yeah. For admittedly, at least he's gone down in points, but it's still
which is cool.
It's still, I mean, how many points is a Flying Hive Tyrant?
Which is a much better unit than the Bloodthirster. I think he comes in at around the same points.
Same toughness, 4-up invuln, 4 less wound, but a 4-up invuln.
Yeah.
Psychic powers.
He's provide a lot of firepower or fight in combat. No, he's not as good.
I get that. But it's just the sheer fact that for a similar point, it doesn't mesh. Yeah. And this sort of harks back to what we were talking about off screen when I was saying, if I was going to do this as a proper World Eaters list, I'd run cultists. That's the thing. Cultists received a points increase because reasons. I still can't fathom why. I think it's because but Tide of Traitors, and you can give them veterans. I'd rather they didn't have veterans at all. Yeah. People are trying.
And then I would have just kept them the same points.
I think some people are sort of using the stratagems as the argument, and it's like, let's compare them to the Guardsmen. You have to compare them to a Guardsman because they've got the same stat line, except Guardsmen has a 5-up save.
A better save.
And their
Regimental Doctrine.
Their Regimental Doctrine, okay,
on top.
sure, you could argue
that you can.
cultists would have their.
But cultists
legion.
don't have orders.
They don't have the orders. Okay, you could argue psychic power support. Well, Guard could have psychic power support, but then you're not going to use. Okay, yes.
So why do you need psychic powers when you get orders?
When you've
cast
got
for
orders,
free?
you can't do anything
For free.
about that.
Can't counter an order.
You could argue the stratagems, but when the points are so efficient for the Guard across the rest of the army.
No, I think I'll say it how it is. In chapter approved, guardsmen not going up was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
Like,
They are undercosted at 4 points. I know that some Astra Militarum fans will be like, Lawrence, don't say that. I'm sorry. Like I'm not hating on your army. Like I love Astra Militarum. They're cool. Like I was using them.
There's something.
But you've got to be a bit fair. You can't have a cultist at 5 points and a guardsman at 4. Like if they're going to raise the cultists, they should have raised the guardsmen.
It doesn't make any sense. Like even if you argued, but the chaos stratagems are better.
Because Guard got cheaper overall.
Guard
the rest of the stuff went down. Because Astra Militarum fans, you said this before. Even if the guardsmen went up, you would still be okay as a standalone guardsman player because your other stuff went down. So you'd be in the same spot.
It only would have been a concern if you were running the Law 32 and doing nothing but mortar spam. Mortar should have gone up.
Yeah, they're
like 5 points.
Yeah, I mean you can.
Okay, you were rolling very well.
I was, yeah.
But if you've got,
but the order, I gave the order to
Yeah, why would you not?
Because you can.
Because you can.
And now I'm re-rolling all of those hits.
Makes them so reliable.
I mean, to not just plug in 9 mortars.
Yeah, is that's the thing. You can so easily.
For 99 points, I get 96 strength 4 shots, which ignore line of sight, have great range, and with the right amount of character support, are all re-rolling their hits.
Yep.
Or even if they don't have the character support, they're not even re-rolling ones.
Yep.
You're like,
you can just when you absolutely positively need to use the order, you can.
Yeah.
But it's
just I got a little too much for my points there. Although having said that, I think you nearly did win the game. There was a couple of clutch moments.
Yeah, it was the dice were definitely against me for a lot. And I know
you were very unlucky.
I hate blaming the dice.
Sure, but there are sometimes a valid time to do it.
It's a dice game. I mean, I think we were sort of saying, I think going like in this style of mission with that style of army against something like the Guard, which is inherently a shooty army. Yeah. Now, if you didn't have the Knights, I would have gone, I'm going to try and seize. 100%, no doubt about it.
But I had that threat of a counter charge.
If I'd have seized and gone, right, well, let's move forward, well, then everything exactly the same would have happened.
Yes. Yeah.
It just would have happened to turn earlier.
Right, yeah.
Because, and I think, I might have had, maybe a few more Berserkers surviving because I would have, been able to pop smoke on them and they would have been closer so they could have piled out and gone, and that would have actually put some pressure on. But then it would have been, I'm now playing old school trying to go for the tabling rather than playing the mission.
But I much prefer it now that you always play the mission.
Yeah, that's the thing. If I'd have had a couple clutch more moments,
the bloodletters sweeping across there, holding that objective, really, really good play.
Yeah, I mean,
if the Berserkers had killed the Knight in the first round with all of those re-rolls, they could have actually.
Yeah,
they could have. But you rolled really poorly on that first round of Berserkers.
I did, didn't I, with the 8? Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, if the Bloodthirster had made it in, he would have killed him in a turn.
Exactly.
No doubt.
Which is why I sort of had to shoot him. But then I regretted it after doing the first 2, and I was like, I don't want to do this. Because I wanted the Bloodthirster to fight.
Look, it is what it is. I mean,
I also thought you had a 4-up invon.
No.
And
you can give him a
4-up. 5-up. I was like...
You can give him a 4-up invon.
Yeah, but then you don't have your cool axe.
Wait. No. You could give him a 4-up invon as a relic, sure.
But the axe was a relic, right?
Yeah, no. I'm also talking stratagem-wise. You could give him a 4-up invon.
Yeah, but that's 2 CP, isn't it? Or is it it's Warp Surge you're talking about, right?
That is a 2 command point stratagem. How much is it for your 4-up invon? Which admittedly is only against shooting.
If I rotated Ion Shields? 1. Yeah,
Doesn't make sense to me.
No, it's fair, isn't it?
It just seems a bit like, and look, I don't want to sound like too much of a negative Nancy. It's just, you can see, bad luck aside, the inherent imbalance amongst some armies.
Yes, I think that's the problem. I think
and you were rolling above average on a lot of stuff, and I was rolling below average in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but I think the problem is, I tried to balance it, and I think now, looking back, I wonder if, you were still at a disadvantage. But I don't know, the thing is, there's a couple of clutch moments. That Bloodletter Bomb, doing the business, and then the Berserkers coming in, killing the ferryman.
But here's the other thing that sort of
then you could have potentially swept forward.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, this is another thing that kind of like bugs me a little bit about 8th edition is they, you know, and we touched upon the sort of again what was promised. In the on-demand video where we went on a massive tangent rant.
Oh, well, that's good.
But and again, I really want to reiterate that the 8th edition is so good. It's
the best edition.
Like, it's the best edition that I've played.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yes, there's little bits from past editions that I would like to see here, and there's certain things which I think are a little bit, but for the most part, in general, it's very, very good. And I don't want this to come across as being like super negative and cynical and like down on the game. Like, you know, I'm having more fun probably with this edition than I have for a lot of other editions.
It's awesome, yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff that I'm still not seeing.
That I would like to see.
That I would like to see. And this is just in terms of the general design philosophy that was pro-offered during the run-up to 8th edition.
Sure.
And two of those things are running a fluffy army, you get bonuses.
Rewarded
now, you know what? Actually, both of these armies were relatively
They were
fluffy.
anti-fluffy, yeah.
You
You can't argue that.
You
These
can't
were
argue
fluffy
that.
armies, yeah.
So we won't talk about that too much because we've touched upon that previously. Yeah. But another thing that sort of, again, just kind of made it apparent today. We made the mention the Bloodletter Bomb came down, wiped out 2 units, tagged the second. Oh no, he doesn't tag them because you can just fall back and shoot. This is the thing. They made a big thing of combat is back. Combat is better than ever. You know, you can like. There's an option to escape from combat, like. You know, and at the time that was like a big deal because you could never fall back from combat. It was you. Once you're in combat, you were dead.
Stuck,
you were stuck.
I mean, you can do that now when you're playing. You know, you're a bit of an advanced player and you do the wrap and trap. But if you're playing,
there was no way of doing
there was
that
no way of achieving that in that instance. And if there was, I would have absolutely let him do it.
Yeah.
It just wasn't.
There just wasn't a way of doing it. But
so you can't always get it off. You can't rely on it. And
I'm not saying that combat should be like overpowered, but this is still a shooting game.
Yeah.
Combat is there, but in really odd scenarios.
It's a weird one. I mean, to be fair, I think Orcs and Tyranids, like Kraken, are
But Kraken's
incredible.
so good.
There are some combat armies that work, but I think when we liken it to when we're talking about the World Eaters, well, Berserkers are amazing when they get in.
Again,
they're just power armored Marines, and they do die.
Yeah.
I mean, should las rifles just be plinking off the Marines that easily?
I mean, I don't
think so.
I was rolling like a dog.
No, you were, but I mean, look how many guardsmen I get for your basic Marines.
But I mean, that's
a lot of las rifles you've got to eat before you get there, and all you've got is a rhino to get you up the board.
Yep, which is easy enough to kill when you've got so much anti-tank in the just in free Tauroxes.
Yeah.
And the other thing
I want to see the World Eaters back in a viable way.
And I'm hoping that there's going to be like Codex World Eaters, Codex Emperor's Children,
with Angron,
and Codex White
and
Stars,
Fulgrim.
Codex Black Templars, Codex Imperial Fifth.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Expand it out and give these codexes the sort of a bit more oomph and love that they deserve.
Some real spice.
We've seen that with Thousand Suns, but I still think they need a little bit more.
Sure, but at least their points have come down a bit now. I've not really looked at them in depth since Chapter Approved, but.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and obviously they've got some very powerful character elements to help support their units. But
the thing that I do like about 8th edition is that there's not too much of an overcomplexity in terms of internal army rules. It's when you start getting the soups, and I hand on heart would be very surprised if someone fundamentally disagreed with 7th edition formations but thought that 8th edition soups and interactions was okay. Let's take the World Eaters for example, and I don't know why I was looking at this. I was just on a bit of a wiki walk and I was looking at some old formations from 7th edition just for the fun of it.
Well, they were fun.
And the World Eaters one was really good fun because it was as soon as you set up, everything moves 2d6. All of a sudden, oh no!
Yeah, that was a bit so cool. You're like, oh,
that you've then got to go. You know what? Actually, I wouldn't even bother with the rhinos. I'd add in another 2 units of. I would make them all 10-man units, and I'd run 50 berserkers screaming towards you.
You mean 20-man units?
Now you're talking my language.
Well,
but
wouldn't that be
3 units of 20
3
running towards you? You've got the
20.
Viking metal playing in the background.
Yeah, that's it.
But for serious, I'm going to put it this way.
Yeah,
I can't sheathe my sword. It's not even my sword, it's your sword. Put that there.
Okay.
But something like that it's cool, it's fun, it's thematic, it's fluffy. Would it be really, really powerful? Apparently, Games Workshop think so because they seem to be really hammering away at you can't have these first turn charges with like the infiltrate moves.
They can't be thinking that.
The
because
deep strike, but
Crack
they
and
allow.
Gene Stealers
They
do it.
allow. Well, this literally came up on day of filming. Guy we know is at a tournament. He made a 42-inch move and charge with Crack and Gene Stealers.
Yeah.
But
They're
deep strike.
another incredible juice choice.
But
I
deep
like
striking
the fact
turn
that
one.
Tyranids are threatening like that.
They should be. But deep striking stuff turn one and charging is a no-no.
Yeah,
because there's no counter to it.
Well, you know,
you can screen with that. There's no counter to something
I
moving
like
42 inches a turn.
I like turn one deep strike.
I don't have a problem with turn
I
one
never
deep
had a
strike
problem with
because
it.
you had to.
The good
account
players
for it.
would count for it. Exactly. You know, it wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, that's what screening's for. You know,
Yep.
you prepare for those sorts
Yep.
of things. I mean, the fact now that you know things like mandrakes. You know, I laugh now have to wait until turn 2.
Yep.
It's like a really arbitrary thing for me. I
Yep.
think I just think it's a bit of a shame. And a lot of those armies which guaranteed the first turn charge had to put a lot of command points into it as
Yeah.
well.
I mean, you know,
So you're like,
I understand.
they're not doing it for free.
I understand it from a shooting point of view because if you'd have turn 1 and those signs came down, the game would have even been bothered carrying on.
Yeah, I mean,
don't think.
I know.
But
well,
from a
yeah.
combat perspective, so all they need to
That's
do.
probably because I've got you're too expensive, and I've got elements in my army which are too
Perhaps,
cheap.
yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
But I mean, just on like a shooting versus combat basis, a simple fix would be use the beta deep strike reserves, or, you know, tactical reserves. You can't arrive turn 1, and all you do is in certain units you go. This unit can arrive turn 1.
Yeah,
Done.
you
Simple.
get the
Because
caveat.
this is kind of the whole reason why they've made individual data slates rather than the old universal special rules where it was kind of you refer to this one rule and that rule never changes.
Yeah.
Whereas now you could go,
You can individually tweak.
you know what?
Yeah.
Crisis suits, you can do the manta drop.
Yeah.
Done. That's it. You arrive 9 inches away. So you are coming down turn 2. Because that kind of makes sense. You're engaging the enemy and then it's like, incoming.
I tell
And
you
that's
what,
cool.
I'd love to see my Grey Knights do that. Or when since
But
I'm
now-
paying all the points for it on my basic troops.
But that's what I mean. So that is what it is. A simple errata to something like strike squads.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. You know, you
Nemesis Strike Force.
Yeah, Nemesis Strike Force.
Yeah.
You know, or Nemesis Strike
Yeah.
Team. Whatever the wording is.
Yeah,
or
the Brothers
teleport
of Titan
strike.
use
Yeah.
teleportation tactics to arrive on a
And it's a
battlefield.
simple
As a result, they ignore
errata thing. You know, this unit may arrive turn 1 via their teleport strike rule.
Please justify my 21 points.
And you
for-
could do,
per model.
and you could do the same thing with, you know, like, not necessarily like weak units, but units that might need that, like an assault squad.
Yeah.
Like we've all, you know, like you see, like in the video games and stuff. I know it's obviously a video game, so it's a bit more exciting and visceral, but you know, you kind of want to be imagining it. But a unit of assault marine should be just jumping out of a Thunderhawk and just going like, just not even turning on the engines. You can imagine this marine just looking at his squad, just going, jumping out.
That's it.
And then they just
backwards.
bang, you know, and then like you know, ignites it just before
Yeah.
he lands, but he's still a space marine, so he lands with like this massive
Yeah, which
impact,
would be epic.
and then he just hits the ground. So he's like, shh, and runs. They should be allowed to charge. You're
Yeah.
still making
drop,
a 9
drop
inch
pods as
charge.
well. I would say drop pods.
Drop pods are a whole.
We've never seen drop pods
But
again.
you know, things like Raptors, assault squads. You know, I mean, you could even turn around and say for things like Sanguinary Guard and Death Company, because that's kind of the Blood Angel shtick.
Yeah.
You don't want that on things like, oh well, my Alpha Legion Khorne Berserkers infiltrate, and then they get to no. I think that's fine to change it as it for that rule to have been changed as it is.
Sure.
I just think that there's certain armies with the deep strike that should be able to, like a unit of. You know, if there's a full-on demonic invasion going on to the point where there's demons just running towards you.
Yeah.
The air around you is probably already so screwed with warp energy. Why have they got to wait a little bit? It doesn't.
Yeah, it does make sense.
You know, they should be like appearing around you all the time.
I mean, fluff-wise, it doesn't make sense, and obviously, I get the rules why they've tried to do
I get it
for
from
the rules
a-
mechanic.
yeah,
but
from a mechanics
It
point of
just
view.
the thing is, it actually hurts
Yeah,
a lot
certain
of armies. Yeah, and that's a shame. It's a shame.
But
yeah, I mean, like, as you say, we have a World Eaters book, and something like, oh well, we've got an ability where we get a free scout move before the game, like Bloodlust of Khorne's Bloodlust or whatever. You get to scout up 6 inches, whatever. Something to just put the pressure on that bit more.
Like when you advance, roll 2d6 and pick the highest. It doesn't need to be to the point of going, you move and then you move and then you advance and then you charge. It doesn't.
Don't have to get into silly.
It doesn't need to be as extreme as that. It doesn't need to be turn 1 charge, but it needs to be kind of. You've got to deal with them by turn 2 as a shooting.
You were talking about 3.5 earlier. Like that, in that edition, you were running berserkers on mass,
on foot,
and just going board. Plague Marines back then as well.
Yeah, because back then, I think
popular build was 3 units of 7 Plague Marines and 3 Dreadnoughts.
Yep.
Or Hellbrutes now, if you're a new player. It was there, and they were resilient. They were resilient because
you
face that, you're like, oh.
I mean, we're obviously talking, like quite a while, and we are again sounding like
it's not relevant now.
Those old gits
that's
back
right.
in my day.
Yeah.
But I think it's in a way you kind of almost need to look at the past to learn lessons from the past. In order to improve the future. I can never remember, I can't remember how the saying goes, but it's like, what is it, like, only a fool ignores the past to move into the... It's something like that. Yeah. And I think it's true, and I think there is a lot of design inspiration from earlier. The AP system...
Yeah. Well, that's straight out second edition.
Is second edition, but they don't have the second edition armour rules, namely...
Which means...
Terminator armour rolling on 2 dice.
Down. Yeah. Now, obviously, saving on 2 dice would lengthen the game.
Of course it would, which at the time worked for Rogue Trader because you had about 5 models.
Yeah, but what you can do is instead go, well, they ignore the first X amount of AP. Whatever
Power
it is
armor ignores 1 AP.
Yeah,
Terminator armor ignores 2
the
AP.
actual armor represent what it should be in the fluff and actually what you're paying for it points-wise right now. Because, my goodness, I get a lot of guardsmen for a Space Marine.
I mean, even then, way to fire will still win the day, and it is a way to fire game at the moment, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. I think it's just, again, that was actually a really enjoyable game.
Very funny.
I know I might be coming across as a bit sorry. It was very fun. It was very funny. It's, like, that to me is what 40k is all about. Is we can have a laugh about it afterwards. We can have a chat about it afterwards. There were some good moments, and there was moments where I was like, you know what? I could actually steal this with some good play,
You're ahead
with
on
some
points.
clever things.
If that ferry
and a
minute
little
come
bit of
down
luck.
a little easier.
Yeah.
And the Bloodletters hadn't just... that morale was a killer.
It was. I mean, but
because that would have kept you on that objective, would have been worth...
That would have been a 2... That would have been a 2 swing. You still probably would have killed them.
I probably would have killed...
you wouldn't, because I would have then had my turn to go... I'm gonna... I probably actually would have stayed in combat with the Hellwing.
Well, you would have killed him.
Yeah.
You would have killed him, that's the thing. I think I would have killed him eventually then with the other Scions unit. But by that point... You had already scored.
It would have been the 2 points there, which you wouldn't have been getting.
Yeah.
So that would have been...
So I would have been 2 points down. You would have been 2 points up. You would have been in the lead.
You would have had one less Helverin as well. Which to sort of, I know that one didn't really do much over there, but it would have been one less thing to deal with and one less thing for you to rely on.
Yeah.
So, these are the things you can get over these speed bumps, as it were, in terms of army imbalance, but... You do need a little bit of luck on your side, and she wasn't with me today, my lady.
No, she wasn't.
No.
As was the last roll that you called.
I know. That's literally just the way it is.
No, that was the name of the game, wasn't it?
But it was very fun. It was very enjoyable. Yes. I'm still loving these new missions.
The new missions are
amazing. They're so good.
Really, really cool.
And I am enjoying this silly little, what army should I do next? I've tried Eldar now.
Well, we played a couple of very funny games.
Yeah.
We've played a couple of very, very funny games.
What army would you like to see me run next?
Yeah, what are you going to run next? You've done
I've done a non-optimised Eldar.
That was a very good game.
I've done a non-optimised World Eaters.
Yeah.
What non-optimised silly army would you like me to do next? Because I'm having fun.
So we've done Eldar versus Grey Knights. We've done World Eaters versus Imperium, or Khorne versus Imperium. What's going to be Chef's next game? I don't know.
Leave a comment. Below. Let me know what shenanigans and silliness you want me to do, and how badly I can lose with your favourite army.
Well, Chef, thank you very much for the game, sir.
Thank you.
An absolute pleasure.
Well played.
We will see Chef and myself back very, very soon. Until next time, keep being bosses. It's been the Spider and the Chef. See you next time.